Gandy the middle? It's like so weird.
I need to. It won't let me change any of the people's layouts. It's just like, I don't know how it works, honestly.
Because you're like in the corner. It's like.
But I went through and like tweaked everything, so hopefully no one changes order because it would really f everything up. Also, you turned your light on properly, so I'm gonna adjust the light source for this.
Oh,
it's Necron. He turned his light on, and then it was like the sun because I had brightened it up. If you want it to be dark, I made it so you can have it dark, and I'll brighten you. Is that better for you, Necron?
Oh, you can make it so I don't need to brighten my face all the time?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look as good, but I think if you're more comfortable, I'd rather just do that for you.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
If I start to have problems, I'll turn off the other light, but I'm going to need to hit some stuff before we get started again.
Okay, and hey, can you get the link, Rex, to that latest post I put on the Gander Orlop Facebook page? I guess actually I made it so that it just takes you to it to share it. So all I need is to update this thingy
keeps hitting their mic
on the bot. That's probably someone who hates microphones.
I'm intrigued that I can see your stream in this call.
You hit your mic.
It looks like Troa got stuck into some kind of void dimension.
Oh no.
I know what happened.
So you said Facebook, Gandy? I got about half of what you said.
Oh, I posted to Facebook, so if you wanted to
Some kind of
share it to your timeline, it's in the Twitch chat. If
guys, look, it's snowing.
I can get you the link to it there.
At my dad's house.
Oh, you guys like snow where you live?
I fucking love snow.
She's homesick, so she doesn't mind snow right now. Logically.
You don't understand. The snow is so big.
It's my muse. Yeah. I love the cold.
I hate the cold.
The snow gets so high that you can walk up the snowbank and be on your roof. The snow is higher than your roof.
Where the fuck do you live?
A very, very cold place with a lot of snow.
Far away in Sadville.
Jesus Christ! Like,
it's going to be -20 tomorrow in the daytime.
Do you live in Canada or something?
Very close.
Shit, I live in New York when that shit doesn't get.
Yeah, no. So I'm trying. Okay.
I got a vest that's battery powered that when it's on it heats because I'm always.
I thought you were gonna say that it comes when called.
I use gloves that are heated because your hands are gonna break off for it. You will lose your hands.
Yeah. So here, I had like a quarter of an inch of snow and it barely stuck for one day, and that's the most snow I've had in a year.
One time I lived in St. Louis.
Isn't it always on fire?
Hey, Sartonius, how you doing?
Oh yeah, we had like one day of snow, didn't we?
Yeah, that's it. That's where it's like I was streaming and the kids came in and they were like, "It's snow, Dad," and I'm like, "Bullshit."
Dude,
bullshit. And then I got there, I'm like, "Oh, dude."
I only experienced it once, and I was.
She's in Meredith's in California, so California, like snow is a big deal. Know what I
come to California and you
I only experienced it once, and that was when I was in
Let's trade homes. You live up here in the cold. I'll go to California where it's warm.
Oh yeah, I will.
Glad to hear you're doing well, Seratonius. Glad to hear you're doing well.
Do it.
Fucking.
All right.
How much is rent?
So, what is your all's assessment of the changes we made here? I think everyone in the call, you think this looks a little bit better than what we've had in the past? I think it
looks better.
I think it looks
slightly more distracting though.
Gandy, I gave you a picture of Grace that I thought you were gonna put up.
I mean, I can, but I haven't.
Do it.
Do it.
I mean, if there's no, if Cass doesn't have a cam.
My like 6-year-old like OC.
Is that what that is?
No.
God.
Oh,
It's a-
I mean, you could just change your avatar to look like Grace, and then it would immediately change it. But
Yeah,
I'll-
but like,
then it would be a tiny circle, Dale. Tiny circle,
yeah,
Grace.
and like this is
We
a
want
piece
big-
of art I
big
got
Grace.
like 6 years ago that I don't have anymore. So I'm.
oh, really? So you gotta just you should try and save it somewhere then.
Oh, I tried, but it's like 128 by 128.
Let's see here.
Hmm.
And then Serotonus has been rewatching Naruto, which is cool.
You can
Oh
see
man,
chat?
really?
Yeah.
Dude,
Wait,
I
I
love
can't see that.
the Chunin training exam story arc is one of my favorite seasons in anime.
Yeah.
Oh,
The what a training?
The,
the first
fucking
Naruto stuff. Yeah.
Exams. When Naruto's in the forest and they're doing the exams and they're setting all the groundwork for like the whole series.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love that season.
I like. My favorite part was the fights.
Is
Oh,
My
there
man.
favorite part was Gara.
Gara
Gandy,
Any moment Gara's on
Rock
screen.
Lee
Is
was
chat
fucking
disabled?
disgusting.
One of
Is
the
what
best-
disabled?
chat?
one of the best
No.
animated
Serotonus is talking to me right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Dude, I can't see chat. What the hell?
What are you talking about? Like in the game?
No, in Twitch, I can't access chat.
You should go to chat then.
Do you
No,
have
I
the little
literally
theater
have
mode
chat.
thing,
I can't see it.
Are you sure you're on Gandar Olap's chat instead of someone else's?
John? Rex, look in the
Yes.
upper right-hand corner of the video.
Yes.
Sometimes there's a little tiny line with an arrow pointing down that
I
will
already have it
uncollapse
open.
chat.
Look,
Oh, well then close Twitch and reopen it.
look.
I've had that happen before. Anytime it does anything even remotely weird, I just close
It's
it
like-
and reopen it.
I'm getting.
Same.
Oh, you're watching an old video. You're watching an old video.
What? I
Yeah.
am?
Yeah, you're watching a VOD. You're not
Why did you
watching
do that?
live.
Not even.
Oh shit! I'm not
Yeah.
even on the stream.
Yeah, you're watching.
I'm a dumbass.
You're watching my last
Everyone, we're
broadcast.
back.
Ayy.
Hey, all right, now I can get undistracted and try and pull that picture up for
So,
Grace.
Serotonus, I'm guessing you're a fan. What is your opinion of Boruto? Keep it short, because we don't have a lot of time.
Garbage.
Did you say
know
a
what it's like
garbage
to make-
itch?
Boruto is like, if anyone here watches the show, they had this story called the Bikochu bug, where they had to add in an extra season before Shippuden started, but they couldn't actually build anything because there was no more story to add.
He says,
It's like if they made an entire anime that was the
Yes,
same
garbage,
quality
yeah.
as that
It's a show.
It's like a fanfic. Literally,
I'm-
all the kids are 10 times more powerful.
And Kat, I'm listed as just chatting because there's a very, very small chance that anyone will come and look at us under the D&D category. So we're trying the just chatting category because historically
Ugh.
D&D just has not been performing very well. So we're going to give it a go.
Unless you're Michael Mercer. Because goddamn that guy.
Apparently.
Still echoing.
I guess the
I
thing
am?
about D&D is, yeah.
Who am I echoing off of?
Yeah, I mean, it's a show where we all talk. We're just talking here, you know. It just so happens that we're also role playing. I think it's pretty clear from the name of it. But I guess if people find it disagreeable, we can change it to D&D again. I mean, we can even just
As long
change
as
it.
we can play D&D, I don't care what.
Yeah, we can change it every 30 minutes just to see if we can snag people
Actually, I
from
do care
all
what Marketing
categories.
says. Don't market it as Lunar eats food, and we're happy.
Oh wow, that might actually work well under the just chatting category.
No.
I like that. No.
Big no.
All right, let's see here. I need to add source, web page, Grace's picture. There we go. Boop a doop boop boop. Look at me, I'm a fancy.
Now it's covering the name.
Yep.
Ugh.
You double ucked. It sounds so funny.
Look, I don't know who I'm echoing off of.
Well,
I
here,
don't.
here's what I'll do.
You're probably echoing off yourself.
I'm gonna mute everyone for
No,
a
because
moment.
I have headphones and a microphone.
Now talk again, Rex.
Hey.
There you go. Now it's got Grace.
Now talk.
Ha.
Serotonia says Necron's staring into my soul. Well, that's kind of Necron's shtick anyways. It works out.
And lastly,
Yes.
Ha.
Alright, says my players are really quiet.
it's
Okay.
Candy.
I'm echoing off of Gandy?
Candy. Yep.
What?
Why am I echoing off of Gandy?
What are you talking about?
Now you're not.
What?
It
Okay.
stopped.
Okay, I'm fixing this.
Okay.
No,
Oh,
what
sweet.
have I done?
Alright, I have everyone at 200% now, okay, Cat?
Oh no, Lunar. Don't
If I
die.
can bring my mic closer if you need me to
This
talk.
took me all of 3 seconds. Not like this.
If you need me to talk louder, I can.
Okay,
I don't know.
I'm good now.
I don't know.
I'm good.
Good. Don't die, please.
Okay.
Why
There
does
we
it
are.
do that? If I turn you down, then you become whisper quiet. If I turn you back up, you're like screaming in my ears.
Oof.
Tell your microphone to be consistent.
Is it my microphone?
Yes,
Fuck.
I think. No one else is doing this. Like, no one else is suddenly loud and then suddenly quiet.
And I'm
Alright.
not having any trouble hearing
Alright.
her now. Oh, but only since I reset all my volume bars.
I'm sorry.
It's not your fault.
Here,
Twitch
I'll
is
try.
just
I'll
being-
try Dungeons and Dragons for the category. We'll see if viewership goes up or down. Anyways,
I'll just listen really keenly.
that part's unimportant.
You need to put
It's
space
better than
tentacles
anything.
in the title somewhere. That'll draw people.
Honestly, it would draw you.
Just chat it.
But for the
Space
most
tentacle.
part, people won't even. The fact that there's tentacles on my Twitch thing, I bet you that we'll get way less people who are willing to retweet it, just in general, even though they're not creepy. I had to choose purposely the least creepy tentacles I could find, but I still feel like people are naturally going to be uncomfortable with it.
You could have just showed an Illithid's head. I mean, those are.
Yeah, but there was no GIF for an Illithid. That's just like, it's not a very
Oh.
common theme.
No, that wasn't Zoidberg. Yeah.
There, it's an Illithid.
Take a screenie of us doing that and make that your picture.
Yeah, well, I already posted it, guys. I already posted it. All right. Speaking of the devil, everyone should retweet. You know, just saying. Here's for.
I
have no
retweeted.
twats.
There you go.
I retweeted before we were on stream.
Retweet and reface.
So do I did.
Yeah.
I retweeted.
God
I
damn
did
it.
not repost because
There you
my
go.
family sees my crap and they don't like my shit. And
Why are you?
Well, that's perfect. They should just suck it up and support you.
I'll post you on the Book of Many Faces.
Yes, the book of many faces. All right, it's you are not. Okay, there you're Eric. Is it dashes, or is it just one word on Twitch? I can't remember.
Fuck, I don't remember.
Yeah, fuck it. Whoever that guy is, I gave him 500 candy bucks. There you go. I think it was you. Okay, so who wrote the summary for last game?
I did.
Are you ready for the reading?
So it occurred to me that Grace wasn't there at all, and at the very, very beginning of our session, I didn't have in my recap. Do you mind if I set the scene a bit so that I can give the info that I forgot to include?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
And just read it yourself and fill
Yep,
in anything.
Read it, fill out the blanks.
Okay. What
Oh,
we need is,
goddamn.
before it even gets started, there's something missing. So, Grace, you wake up
Yeah.
on the spaceship. Your head kind of hurts. You think you might have gotten into a bar fight. And for some reason, there is a fuck ton of gully dwarves everywhere. You try to remember
yeah,
why.
That sounds about right.
You try to remember why, and you think you kind of remember spending the last 2 weeks inventing some kind of sadistic sport with Necron. It was like
Gully
dwarf
ball.
Gully ball.
Did we like cut their
Appar-
limbs off and use their heads as balls, or what happened?
I thought you stacked them as high as you could.
No, you throw them, and the ones that win from being thrown either the hardest or the furthest, I can't remember, you then get to stack the survivors, and the highest pyramid wins.
So
It's
you've
a
been spending
terrible
the last 2
sport.
weeks making
That was a
gully ball.
terrible-
But
and it
Necron
would
made it
appear-
better by animating the corpses and making them stack themselves like cheerleaders.
Okay.
Yes. It would appear that Patrick has been kidnapping spare gully dwarves and bringing them back to the ship.
I do
Looking
not.
around.
I do not kidnap. I don't take anyone against force. Okay. Patrick convinces Gully
He's been
dwarfs.
persuading Gully Dwarves. to
It's
come back to
really
the ship.
easy to persuade Gully dwarfs. Okay.
You pretty much, hey, you want to come with me? Okay.
Okay.
Speaking of not quite kidnapping, it would also appear that Carlos has been filling the ship with chairs. Because amongst the Gully Dwarves, you see a fuck ton of various chairs.
Well, there's a place for every zombie he creates to sit down now.
There
This
you
is
go.
Perfect.
Okay. So
The Gully
this
Dwarves
is
are
this.
laughing, and you hear music. You turn around and see Carlos playing a piccolo, dancing amongst the Gully Dwarves. The Gully Dwarves are circling a ring of chairs, which are spinning, and then they suddenly stop. Carlos goes, "Quick, final round, everybody! Last round of musical chairs, find your seats!" The Gully Dwarves rush to get to the seats, but the chairs start flying away. Some of them soar up into the heavens where they cannot be reached. When all the chairs that can be sat in have occupants, he goes, "Congratulations to these 7 Gully Dwarves!" And from the heavens descends a chair with a big cake baked on it that says, "Musical Chair Champion."
Okay.
Yeah,
And
it's
this
the
all
cake for the Gully
happened.
Dwarves.
This all happened before our last session, then,
For the
huh?
recap.
Okay.
Listen, I'm trying to work this into the recap. I'm trying to work the fact that I have to explain the Gully Dwarves and the chairs into the recap. Musical
Well,
chairs is my method.
This slightly changes the story. So you initially went back with Grace for a little bit to hang out and to taunt the Gully Dwarfs with your chair
I
powers.
mean, we were on the ship last time we ended, so I figured that was an okay place to start the recap.
Well, so no, so remember.
Also, because of the way my recap is written, my recap begins, "Gather around all Gully Dwarves and chairs and stuff," so I have to assume I'm near Gully Dwarves and chairs. to read the
Okay,
recap.
okay. So you're doing the recap now. When you do the recap,
Right,
let me at least clear up what Grace experienced while you guys were all gone. Okay, so Grace, you never got to say what you would have done other than the fact that you were with Necron participating in the horrifying sport. Okay, so if you had 2 weeks to philander and do whatever you wanted, what additional activities would you say you would have done in those 2 weeks of philanderification? I would have philandered very mightily. Yes. That's
Hey Grace, what would you have done if you had 2 weeks on Christmas Island? Hey Grace, what would you have done? Grace? Are you muted?
Grace.
okay. I guess Carlos,
Oh,
go ahead and
turn
start
it up.
reading the recap.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Hello?
Okay.
There you go.
So I would have spent the time doing what Grace always does in her free time, study ways to gain power, because she has no other goal in life to cause suffering and gain power.
Okay.
Reading my electrician books and researching demons and shit, because that's the direction I want her to go.
Okay, and so that would explain why you went back to the ship doing your studying and research while everyone else ended up drunk off their ass and kidnapped. So,
Yeah, sure. Definitely.
cool.
That.
So, Carlos, go ahead and lead us in with the summary of what happened last time.
Alright. Musical chairs ends, chair flies over to Carlos, he cocks his head at it for a second, then grins, jumps onto the chair and yells, "Gather round, all ye Gully Dwarves, regular dwarves, beauties and gentle chairs, because have I got a story for you." The other day, I wake up in a cell, completely butt naked, with nothing but a shithole and a very unfriendly chair for a cellmate. I look at our good friends Necron, Meredith, and Patrick, and they're in the same boat. So I say to the chair, "Jeremy, you have to help me get out of this cell." He ignores me because he's an
You
asshole.
said Jeremy?
I did say Jeremy, but I like that better.
Jeremy.
Jeremy.
I said Jeremy with a J, but if you want to pretend it's
No, I
Jeremy, that's
This is gonna be
that's
like the
funnier.
Ant-Man bit. Everything's gonna have a chair related name.
Yeah, Jeremy.
I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why it's not like this.
Why isn't it Jeremy? Listen, Jeremy is too much of an asshole to have a good name like Jeremy. You have to level with him here.
Fine.
That's the
Yes, Jeremy, to get him out of the cell.
That's the
He knows
French
it because he's an
spelling.
asshole.
Jeremy.
We all look around, and Necron throws some shit at his door because God told him to. Then Patrick finds that our cells have this tiny device in the corner that's blocking our magic. So I throw Jeremy at it to break it. And the moment it shatters, every fucking mind flayer you can imagine comes running in, and one of them opens my cell. So with my squirrel-like agility, I slip past all of them, still butt naked, I remind you, and open up Necron's cell and say, "Bro, help me kill these mind flayers." And he's like, "Fuck that." So I'm facing 20 mind flayers alone, with no weapons or armor, and they use some kind of telekinetic grapple to hold me down and take turns magically frying me to a crisp. I barely survived the first round of attacks. I can't use those armor spells, and there are no chairs, except for Jeremy, but he's an asshole. I know I only have a few seconds left to live, so I use the spell Prestidigitation, and then everyone hears a booming voice.
God.
Self-destruct sequence activated.
I can't
30,
believe that worked.
29.
Yeah, that's one of the. I
Well,
cannot believe that worked.
I thought I was about to die too.
Believe that.
While they're all distracted, I jump into Necron's cell and they decide to just relock the cell and go stop the ship from exploding. I look over at Necron, who is also butt naked, and tell him I'm gonna take a nap in his cell. And Necron's like, "Good luck sleeping on the hard floor." And I say, "Bro, just give me a back rub so I can rest." He holds up his shit-covered hands. He's like, "Clean my hands first, asshole." In the cell naked together with Carlos attempting to convince Necron to give him a back rub.
Oh god.
I've seen this movie before.
He
Oh,
just
Brokeback
wanted
I
Mountain.
watch it too.
All they need are cowboy hats.
But before he can clean his hands, the guards show up and they knock him out. So I wake up again.
In his cell. Again.
Sound gay.
It's like,
Anyway. That's prison. So I wake up again, my head is killing me, and there's a mind flayer staring right at my face, and he says, "Tell me everything you know about your ship, or I'll torture you and your friends." So I look the man right in the eye and I say, "I think it might be pig-shaped." So he cuts off my pinky finger, the bastard! They bring me back to my cell after that, and I use my incredible skills in telepathy to show Necron what happened. They took Necron, and a few hours later he came back complaining about how they wouldn't torture him because they knew he'd like it. Apparently he didn't tell them anything, so we all fell to discussing potential ways to escape our cells.
But he
Necron
did.
suggested I tried
He
to...
told them everything. They
He
just
told them
didn't believe
everything.
him.
Or
He
care.
passed his bluff check and they didn't believe him.
No, that just for the sake of the recap, I need to point it in there. He didn't just talk. He told them everything they needed to know to get on the ship. He even told them it would let them on if they would just walk up and ask politely. And he's like, "But you won't." And then then they wouldn't torture him. I didn't have to make a bluff check. I was being honest.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway. So Necron suggested I try to persuade the non-chair furniture to move. Can you imagine? Everyone knows webbers can't think. So while we're discussing this, Meredith used some very clever survival skills to disable her magic block without setting off the alarm. And then she summoned a spectral animal. We went back to the torture room to rescue Olivia and Ravender. Out of character, that is Carlos's 2 chairs, his weapon and his trinket. And we had to fight the mind flayers as pets, basically unarmed. It was a terrible fight. Patrick and I both lost consciousness a few times, and Patrick in particular barely managed to survive the psychic attacks. But in the end, Meredith bashed their skull in and we were victorious. I found my finger on the mind flayer and asked Necron to reattach it. He obliged, but he definitely wasn't gentle. Whispers in your right ears. He stabbed my hand and started twirling the blade. So once my hand was whole,
It was such a dick move.
We were all severely... Oh, is Gandy talking?
I said it was such a
Well, he
dick
had a-
move.
He had a cut open. He didn't really. It would have healed anyway, but he told you it did.
I mean, I think he believed you that maybe he had to cut off the top, like, whip or whatever to get that to reattach properly, but he definitely didn't need to start twisting the blade. And
Well,
he did anyway.
oh no, and also for the purposes of spell, he did not need to cut you with that knife. But you know,
No, it was just
he was
just
pretty
more
sure
fun.
his goddess would appreciate it if he did. It was a worship thing.
Our next segment. My hand was whole once more, but we were all still severely injured, and there weren't enough healing spells to go around. Necron revived Patrick, but I was too wounded. Necron, being a necromancer, could only heal me if I died first. He offered to finish me off quickly with his knife, but Honestly, would you let that guy stab you to death with a knife? Especially after what he just did to my hand. Dude's clearly a sadist. So I stole his knife and did it myself.
You
when
can't
we woke,
kill me.
Necron
I'm
was-
killing me.
You got N7 was saying, remember that it's only proper etiquette that you shout, "That is my satchel," before you kick someone in their groin. Just thought I'd pass that on from the viewers.
Okay then. Anyway, when I woke, Necron was glaring at me, and he whispered, low and menacing, "If you ever steal my knife again, I'll kill you, and this time I won't bring you back." So after that, we crept around the halls, Meredith and Necron using their keen hearing to listen for foes, and me using my sleight of hand to peek through doors. We managed to find our spaceship, but alerted several of the guards to our presence, so we lured them down a hallway and made a run for the ship. Patrick seized control of one of the monsters and had it grapple the others to buy us time. Meredith had to pause to open the door for us, and while Patrick and I made it in, Necron paused to try and push her in. Instead, they tripped over each other and started bickering, which was hilarious. I laughed and laughed while they struggled to untangle themselves. But then Necron started getting mauled by monsters, and Sylvia thought it'd be best if I helped pull them into the safety of our ship. And that is how we escaped Mind Flayer prison alive. The end. What? Oh, what happened
Were
afterwards?
you guys naked the entire time?
Yeah,
Don't forget
we
we
gotta
warped
go-
back
they
to
got
the
their
station.
they got their gear, but for the most part, they didn't bother to like put it on. The
mean,
I don't know
we did
that
discuss
I don't know
putting
that
our clothes
Meredith
on.
ever put the armor on. Did you?
I did. I
You
was
did?
the only
You
one that
did?
equipped
Okay.
my things back.
I didn't have much armor to put on anyway.
Everyone
but-
just
Well,
like threw
we
a
all grabbed
backpack
our
with their
clothes.
clothes in.
Yeah, we basically grabbed our crap, and I was the only one that like dressed. I was like,
Anyway,
fuck.
so we made it
this?
back, safely back, and Necron did a scan of the ship and discovered that while magic always falls within predictable parameters, a fair amount of what happens will always be up to luck. Then, after a rest, we temporarily revived Shell, the orc child that they were trying to save a few weeks ago. They asked her a few questions about where she got the ship. Apparently, this weird pig spaceship was an experiment from the Mind Flayers. This is a complete lie. They just completely got wrong information from Shell, as would tend to happen to interrogate
Yes, if you ask an
child with low
8-year-old.
intelligence.
Thanks for the follow in, 7.
They were the previous prisoners, but they escaped on the ship before she died. She also claimed the crew had fought the Mind Flayers before in front of some sort of cake shop.
We lost
Just
Cass.
before she moved on.
I'm back.
Oh, there we go.
Just before she moved on, Necron told her that Meredith was the one who got her killed, and they got into another fight. It was fantastic. The end. This time for real.
Oh, that's right. I forgot I did that.
What did you
Just
do?
before she went back to the afterlife, I said, by the way, Meredith is the one who got you killed.
Oh
And then I
yeah,
turned into
you guys
Spell.
brought him back.
And I wanted to.
Just to fuck with her.
Been like, okay, thanks, Meredith.
No, thanks.
That was just the biggest asshole move I think I could have made, and it was just. I'm so sorry, but it was too.
Honestly,
perfect.
I'm sorry. I think it's actually starting to wear on Meredith's state of mind the fact that everybody is just constantly going against her,
The stream
and
was
she's just
weird.
like,
It's just
Oh.
whenever someone types in that private chat, it fucks up my cameras. So
Oh.
oh.
Go on. You were saying.
I have a question. So,
What's
do
the
Illithid's mind fuckery, is that like magic based? Or is that like psionic bullshit?
it's psionic bullshit.
Okay, so you wouldn't have been better off leaving the magic dampener on and just knifing them to death. Because they'd still be able to mind fuck you.
Yeah.
Pretty hard to fight under magic.
I mean,
dampener.
correct me if I'm wrong,
Magic dampener.
Necron, but
Oh shoot! What did I just do?
I don't know. You sent me a PM.
I don't know, but it just said I invited you to something. Well, it was Gandhi, so whatever.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll deal with it later. Just you probably just invited me to a random Discord. It's all good. It's all good. I'm in a lot of random Discords. Speaking of random Discords, you guys should join the Discord if you're watching. Just saying. It's pretty random. We do a lot of shit there. Okay. So, does anyone have any questions about what happened last time? I should probably let me bring up the YouTube link for folks who don't have it already. I'll give you guys the last episode. It actually was a very lively and very enjoyable episode. I personally felt like it was one of the best ones you guys have done so far. So really good job on that. And
Seeing you eat makes me hungry.
seeing you hungry makes you eat.
No, anytime I see someone eating anything noodle-like, I immediately want it.
This is
And
noodles.
I also like eating things with chopsticks, and I like that I don't like when I don't have an excuse to eat something with a chopstick 'cause it looks pretentious.
And you need an
That's over where
excuse
it's
to
going.
eat something with chopsticks. Just eat everything with chopsticks. You don't need an excuse.
But
French
usually, if I'm
fries
at
with
home,
chopsticks.
if I could eat it with a chopstick, I'll just pick it up with my fingers unless
Okay,
it's
cool.
covered in sauce.
Nuclear
in which
fire.
case it's a
Nuclear
noodle.
fire really wants to go back down to the town where you guys have all the shrine worshippers and flick matches at them. Like that's been his ongoing thing. He wants to melt them. Isn't that right, Nuclear fire?
Why doesn't he join and just play a fire
Yeah.
starter?
He should join the game.
He should.
Play a pyromaniac.
Then he could be our pyro.
Or you could use some Gandy
You know,
bucks
like a normal
to,
wizard.
Or you could use some Gandy bucks to turn the pot so that it goes back there. You could do that.
Yeah.
I mean, not right now because we have a whole thing planned out soon.
We should give it a little longer. Let them make them start worshiping us a little longer before we stop back in. We gotta let the religion take its course.
Yeah, we have
Speaking
to
of,
let
have you
assumption and paranoia set in for like a good year or two.
Yeah.
Speaking of, have
We
you
gotta wait until
given,
there's like 3 or
It is a
4%.
running joke. It is a running joke. I'll
have you
give you that
given
much.
Carlos the pamphlet to fill out or whatever yet? The Mad Lib?
No, I don't think he would have it. You guys have been a little bit busy. Grace is planning world domination, and who am I echoing
Actually,
off of?
the most I'm planning is the vengeful and bloody death of my own parents. That's
Okay.
what. Oh, that's really all she's planning.
I
So
think Cass is echoing off of you, Gandy.
I'm just
okay.
asking if during your 2 weeks you ever handed Carlos the Mad Lib that you handed everyone else.
Yeah, Grace hands it out to everyone she meets. So yes, we
Okay,
handed
Carlos
you a
has the
pamphlet
Mad
so you know what's going on.
Okay.
Okay.
So you know that we're swine acolytes.
Hey Carlos, help us form a pig-based religion. I have no problems with this whatsoever.
You're part of the party, so now you're an angel of the swine god. Deal with it, like it. Join up or be quiet.
Carlos takes the pamphlet, laughs maniacally for 5 minutes, then walks away.
I mean that works. That's better than the knifing we almost had. With
With the initial implementation.
You know, I was thinking about that little cult we started. I say when we go back, we talk to the high priest, and then we find out one of his second in command that disagrees with him. We kill the high priest and say he had it all wrong, and put that guy in charge. He'll love us for life.
No, we should convince them to split off into 2 separate religions so that they can violently and bloodily kill each other, and spend all the resources on that, so they can advance scientifically.
How about this? We'll appear to half of them and tell them it's the holy pig, and appear to the other half and tell them it's the divine swine.
Yeah.
And that's it.
No, this is good. Yep,
And
this is-
that's enough difference that they'll be similar enough that they'll kill each other.
The wording.
It's
you have to make them,
painfully
the wording
plausible.
is important.
Painfully plausible.
Yes.
I got another idea. How about we hand one group of them a second pamphlet and said that this is the rest of the rules, and not give it to the other one.
Yes. Yes, I like.
There's a lot of minor differences you could make that
Out
would
of
make them
character,
kill
was
each
our
other.
goal to make them worship us, or are we actually trying to kill
That was
them?
my goal.
So out of game, I mentioned as a metagaming concept that deities can be created if you get a certain number of followers to worship you as an actual god. You can
Yeah.
actually become deific rank 1.
Yeah.
Then
there's
why
a whole
do
book
you
about
want
it.
to kill your own cult?
Well, in game, we're kind of justifying it. Not that we're really gonna become gods, but we're trying to make people think we are because it amuses us.
Yeah.
Basically.
Okay,
It's
so you're literally just doing this for the walls.
yeah.
Absolutely,
They
yeah.
they have no.
Literally half the idea.
Oh,
I
Yeah,
think
I thought we had a
really good
plan.
food. That planet makes good food, and they feed us for free.
now I will say that with an understanding of Grace's character at least, I feel like if Grace did figure out that she could become a deity, that would become an overwhelming goal.
Yeah, at this point,
the
I'm
only
just-
way
I'm
I
going
can
with-
yeah.
Oh.
The only way
At
I
this
can
point, I'm going
explain.
with- you go first.
All right. The only way I could explain your behavior in character right now is that you don't understand that. That like
No, but your character is narcissistic, right?
Yeah, why I started doing this was for the lulls and for the ego boost.
Yeah,
If-
that's
if
what
I
I'm
just-
saying. You play
Yeah.
him kind of like you play this character like they're sociopathic, like they need the attention because it's the only way you feel joy.
Basically, because growing up, she was never given any positive attention by her parents. So garnering attention from anyone who would give it is,
No, yeah, that's definitely the exact type of person that would start a cult. That's perfect.
yeah.
Exactly.
Next-
You
Necron's
don't want to
doing
go
it
up your
for
own
the
cult if
lulz.
that is your goal. Because
Yeah.
if they die, they can't worship you. Or...
That said, I
So
would
if
say if you did figure out that you could become a deity, that would change your behavior.
Absolutely. Right now, it's for the
Okay.
ego boost, and if I happen to stumble into, oh, you can become a god like this, and then it's okay. This is exactly what we're doing.
Yeah. Then all of a sudden it would go from
Right
the
now, it's just for the
chaotic
ego boost.
chaotic dicking around and feeling like a power trip to okay, now no one fuck with the plan. The plan is important. You turn into fucking Dutch.
Exactly. Into who?
To Dutch from Red Dead Redemption.
Okay. Yeah. No. If she stumbles into it, like then absolutely this is where we're going. But right now, it's all it is an ego boost.
Okay, so if we're comfortable, let me go ahead and set the scene for where you guys are right now, so that you can decide what to do. Is everyone comfortable? Everyone feel good?
Yep, that's good.
Yes, but
All
I'm
right.
gonna go get a cookie, but I can still hear you.
Okay. All right, so you guys just escaped, and you put in the directions to the station that you had, the research station, and the ship has just popped out, and you see on your HUD the station with the big hole on the side that the evil Santa Claus left. There's kind of like an amalgamation of frozen gully dwarf bodies sticking out of the hole, and there's little bits of the gingerbread people and gully dwarfs all just kind of crammed out, little limbs and stuff sticking out of the hole. It's bulging out, but it's frozen over, and it seems like it's keeping it sealed shut.
We went back to the station we were at last time I was here, or is this where we've been the entire time?
No, so you guys had been on the planet where you guys killed, like you won the tournament. You spent 2 weeks
Okay.
there celebrating, okay? And then
Oh, yep.
yeah, you went back to the station you went back to
Back
just
to the pig
hang out on the pig ship, and you stayed inside the ship the whole time, keeping the Illithids out. And they were actually captured and in prison. So you had actually gone into stasis, and the ship didn't bring you back. Is probably the most logical option.
Right.
So you just woke up when they got on location, and Carlos told you and all the gully dwarfs the story. So right now the gully dwarfs are running around shuffling the 7 chairs that were left for them into random patterns and fighting over what little bits of cake ingredients remain on the ship. And you guys see out in front of you the station that you guys had left before you went and won the tournament. That's where you went to run away.
How did we get captured?
We don't know that yet.
Yeah, you don't know.
We need to investigate.
Okay.
Let's check the ship's logs. Patrick
Remember-
Thomas Wagon.
Yes, Patrick here. Where would you like to go?
Check. Does the ship have a record of what happened to us? How we were absconded with by those disgusting creatures?
He shows you the screens again. He goes through, shows you the damage log that shows all the damage that the ship has undertaken, and the transport logs, and then there's a stasis log. Those are the things that are all the screens other than navigation screens that are available. So
Yes, but what attacked us? What, like... Why don't we remember?
Well, you see, I don't think the ship was there, so it doesn't know.
Oh, right. We were partying.
So-
Ravender and Ravender and Sylvia, if they know, but the Terrans don't know either.
Now I remember. It was drugs. Yes. Alcohol and drugs.
So you made people
That's
eating
how they
each
got
other in
us.
nuclear fire. Okay, so
All of us?
I wouldn't even imagine Necron to be one who drinks. He'd just pay the bar lady to just smack him a couple of times. That'd be enough.
Oh, no. He likes his pleasures as much as his pains. And he
He's
doesn't
just gotta
really
balance it out.
He doesn't really sex, but he likes all the other vices in the world. So
Gambling, slavery, drinking.
So
you know, yeah.
so
Drugs,
now
alcohol.
Would Meredith the Paladin get plastered enough to be captured by Illithid?
so every
She's a
one of you
dwarf.
woke up. Everyone woke
He's
up
a dwarf.
feeling hungover, naked in those cells. Whether or not it was self-inflicted, you guys had all been partying a lot, and that's all that you really remember. Nuclear fire says it's kinky, Necron. So what you have in front of you is the research station and the console. You have the options to go any of the places that you have unlocked. You have all of those location keys. So oh damn it. Oh, it's gone. Okay, there he's back.
I want to make them suffer for making us wait.
So you guys have the key to go back to the town on the planet. You have the key to go to the arena, and you have the key to the place that you're at currently, as well as the key to the Illithid station. Those are all the keys that you guys have currently.
I have an idea. We want those people, and he points at the space station, to die. And we're building a cult on another planet.
No, wait.
I know where you're going with this. And I
Okay,
love it.
Meredith's
So
like,
I'm
wait.
thinking
Let
Holy
Necron finish.
War.
Let Necron
No.
finish.
Wait,
I mean, look at their faces. They look like monsters.
Let him finish what he's saying first, and then you can jump in.
Listen to me, good lady, small woman, okay? Let me explain this to you. Those people are bad. They beat us and they tortured us and they enjoyed it. I can tell. They're evil. I'm saying we take a bunch of lunatics and have them kill a bunch of evil people. How is that any different from one of your bloody crusades, woman?
is it a war?
Oh, it will be.
Well, if it's a war, my
Maybe.
goddess does love wars.
You worship a war goddess?
Yeah, she does.
A war and death goddess.
War and death. Those are.
So,
So
I
here's
mean-
Are we gonna do a holy war?
She
So excited.
my goddess loves to be on the glory and winning side of war
Yeah.
and have honorable deaths. So, yeah. So,
Fine, if you insist we win, fine. But I just want to do a war. Oh, I'm so...
So-
I mean, if it's
So
a
can I
war,
clarify to you guys that we're outside of the research station right now, not outside of the place that you guys just escaped.
Yeah,
Patrick,
I need the information from the research place. You're talking about the Colosseum place, if I'm correct? Or
The research station where we saved all those gully dwarves and then ended up getting spaced because
Yeah, that's where you guys are right now. That's the direction. That's the key card that you had Patrick put in to escape the Illithid base.
Yeah, that's when I tossed at him. I was like, "Put this in. Let's go."
All right, now do we want to stay here or do we want to go see how our little crusade is gonna start?
We can always come back here. We have the map.
Yes, exactly.
I can always postpone it for a war. I mean, my goddess does love wars.
Okay.
So, if it's for a war, I'll postpone.
Yes. Let's go to the planet. Let's convince our cult people that these Illithids are the enemy of their god, and let's start a religion-based holy war. And I mean, you're a paladin. Death in the name of your god is the most honorable death you can receive. So why would you deny these people such honor?
Honorable deaths. All right.
Oh, we're gonna call ourselves the Legion of Doom. Oh, it's going to be the best day.
I think we
Legion
need to
of
come up
Death.
with something a little
I
more.
like that better.
A little. Okay, Legion.
Legion of Death.
The
All right.
holy hog war of whatever year it is.
The holy hot war.
They convinced the pig people.
I'm sick.
So yeah, good. I'm glad we can finally get the paladin in on something horrible. I mean, honorable.
Honorable.
Worry. Something worry.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if I call everything a war, is that okay with you? And I'm like saying that as grace to Meredith. Like, if everything I do that's awful is in the name of war, is that cool? Like,
Seems pretty
do you go
cool.
along with it now?
No. It has to be an
Like war.
honorable
Alright.
and an actual war. Like between two.
Cool. Okay, I can definitely start more wars. Let me tell you, I know how to talk people into doing
Alright.
things.
So, Patrick's like, Oi!
Guys,
Oi! What are we doing?
Oh, we're going to
We're
go to
going
the
to the
pig
planet.
planet.
Okay, so you want me to put this card in it? And he blows in the cartridge.
Let's go.
Because it's like a PlayStation. It's one.
1965.
It's. I told you guys those cartridges look literally like Super Nintendo cartridges.
Nice.
Okay, so
I take mine back.
Since
Meredith
we're about
takes
to do
hers
the
back.
religious
Back
piggy
her
stuff.
It's the ship's, it's not yours.
did you guys want to do a long rest, or you just want to go straight in?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
we did
yeah.
one.
It's just
I'm pretty sure we did one, but
No,
regardless,
we'll do another one. Yeah.
Let's assume we did.
yeah.
we
Let's
were
just.
supposed to. Since we're doing the piggy religious stuff, I want to inform you guys that I did my homework ahead of time.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, cool. Cool.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
What is this homework?
I think we were.
Oh, your own personal.
Oh, I see.
If
Carlos's
Carlos were to
version.
receive the, Mad Lib fill in the blank, this is what he would have done.
You
And I
shall
found
not
that he
talk
put
to
it
any
over.
stools. You shall not make a piece of furniture with less than 3 legs, nor design the legs of thine furniture to originate from the same point. You shall not take the name of the pig lord in vain. You shall not break any chairs that do not break rule number 2, for the piggy lord, as long as they don't look fucked up, the piggy lord must sitteth. You shall not dishonor your family or your furniture. You shall not throw thine furniture at thine children or thine spouse, for they are sacred implements, not to be besmirched in this
We
way.
should specify that the chair is sacred, not the spouse.
Yes. No,
Okay.
Every second
Cool,
Tuesday of the
thank you
month,
so
the first
much.
person you
You can
see
grab
is
the
named
marker and start
Johnson
crossing things
until
out.
the sun sets. I like
Yeah,
number
these people
7.
start respecting each other. Convincing them to commit atrocities is going to get a lot harder. Trust me.
People
I
start
mean,
respecting
Civil
each
War
other.
is not bad either.
Number 7 is my
Are
favorite
you
so
sure
far.
you're a good
Every
paladin?
second
Because this
Tuesday
is
of the
great.
month, the
I
first
mean,
person
I
you see
worship
is
a
named
great god.
Johnson until the sun sets. You shall not consume sweets on the 7th moon of the 9th day. 9th day?
Month.
And
Seventh
Okay,
moon is the ninth month.
you shall not bear false witness against thy family in faith of furnishing or furnishing. What?
Let's just.
You shall
go-
not covet
let's
thy
go
neighbor's
play.
velvet seating. Okay. Shall not throw thine furniture at thine children or thine spouse,
I fixed
for
it
they,
and
the
added
furniture,
for
are
they, the
sacred
furniture.
implements, not to be besmirched in this way. Okay, that's more clear.
He puts an arm around you and says, "Thanks, buddy."
You really like chairs, don't you, Carlos?
Carlos really does like
How
chairs.
random.
Okay,
I
so
told you they killed my family.
what?
Oh, I didn't-
Chairs killed your family, and that's why you like them? What?
I'm planning to kill mine. You know.
Your
if
chairs?
Any like?
Go on.
No, I'm planning to kill my family. If you want to help.
Oh, in game. I forgot.
Exactly.
That was not out of
exactly.
character.
Ron said, Grace. Like, that's-
No, I'm planning to kill my actual parents.
I'm pretty sure my
I'm like,
family has been
you know
dead
we're
for
live, right,
1,000
bro?
No, Grace is planning to kill her family. So, you know, if you
Ooh.
want to help.
But yeah,
feel free.
would Patrick like to inquire about the fact that he likes chairs because they killed his family? Or is he chill with this?
Yeah, let's not ask, because that sounds like some that sounds like a Pandora's box.
It's a little deep.
I'd
It's a little
rather you
deep.
just be
All right.
civil.
Okay, so Patrick
Well, I mean, it's not Pandora's box, but you know.
shoves
It's a rabbit
the Patrick
It's a
shoves
deep
the
rabbit hole.
You guys can hear me, right, when I talk?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sort of.
You should probably turn me up then.
I
Alright.
should turn you up. You're quieter.
All right, so Patrick puts the cartridge in, pushes the button, and you go boom, and suddenly you guys are no longer floating in space, and you are in front of the area that you guys used to be at. Boop. Let me find it.
With like a giant pile of rotting cake, right?
Can everyone roll a wisdom check?
Wisdom save or wisdom check?
That's safe. Sure.
Oh! Oh god, I rolled a 1.
You're in
Oh
the
no!
Jesus
God, I
Christ.
rolled a 1 and I did better than Carlos.
We both rolled ones in spite of our incredible multipliers.
Wisdom.
The fuck are you guys doing? You guys are literally so Necron and Carlos are in the fridge right now. Just I don't know. We won't
Necron's
ask
playing with his
questions.
dead bodies again.
Necron's like, let me show you my pile of corpses.
Yeah.
He's too excited
I was
about
like-
the war.
Yeah, so Necron and Carlos excited about the war in the fridge, counting bodies and making space for more.
Oh.
Yes, 'cause this is.
You're just rearranging
Or
all of the
Necron could be showing
corpses so that you
Carlos
have
the
more room.
souls He made out of corpses.
Have
Yeah.
you seen Repo, the genetic opera?
No, but I know what that
I
is.
love
'Kay.
that.
You know the scene where he has his hand up inside the guy and he's working him like a
Yes.
puppet to the song?
Yay.
That's how Necron would celebrate. He'd
Okay.
do something like
So and
I'm imagining a coat closet in the fridge full of corpses being hung by coat hanger.
okay.
Seems legit.
So, let me go ahead and paint the scene for you. We already know what Carlos and Necron are doing. Patrick isn't paying a ton of attention, but he's not in the fridge at least. Meredith and Grace, you see on the panel, everywhere that there are people outside on that camera is an Illithid behind them. And
Glorious. The battle should be.
and Grace, you see a large contingent of Illithids that are approaching the ship right now. It appears that the entirety of this city has been taken over by Illithids, so all the local population are
So,
under
what are
their
the numbers
control.
Like?
that.
Is it like
You
more worshippers than Illithids? Is it equal numbers? Are there more Illithids than
There's-
worshippers?
it's almost a 1-to-1 ratio, and
Perfect.
everyone seems like mind controlled at the moment. And you see a pretty large contingent, larger than what you saw before in that station, approaching the ship right now.
Do they
Fuck.
just look mind controlled, or that?
Like you roll a 20, you know that those guys are under the control of the Illithids, and you know that
Shit.
there's a large contingent of
I look at Cass.
you know there are enough
This is gonna be more like a
Illithids
battle
that you
metaphor.
absolutely would not be able to win if you were to try and get out of the ship right now and take them on. Like,
Is there any
Well,
way
the
we can
point
like
was to
send
incite
a?
a riot, but I don't think we're gonna be able to send a riot.
there
if they're
any
all
way-
under mind control.
Is there any way we can like amplify, like, let's say, a like mind like blocking thing from the ship, like a wave?
Is it like okay? So, is the mind control? Is that a spell they're casting? Is that just their tentacle magic, or?
it's Necron, can you tell us a little bit more about how
Yeah.
mind control
Alright,
works
now,
for Illithids?
Remember, our characters won't necessarily know all of this. Illithids are connected to a hive mind that's controlled by a giant brain that's kept in a special room and guarded by trusted Illithids and brainwashed people that came to kill the brain. So the only way to really break an Illithid enchantment, other than to individually cast spells on the people to try to break it, is to kill the big brain or get the person far enough away that their control won't matter anymore.
Shit.
So we would have to somehow know that the brain exists and attack that. But that would probably have like an elite contingent of Illithids guarding it.
Okay, because I can do like the spell magic, but I don't think that's gonna help on a large scale.
And just for scale of power, if anyone's familiar with Drizzt from the Drizzt novels,
Can
he tried
I
to take on a brain once and ended up a
detect
slave
evil?
for a year.
Yeah, you detect evil.
detect
Oh yeah,
evil?
Illithids are all evil.
There,
But I mean, like a more
She-
potent source of evil.
well, you
See,
detect
roll
that
the
there's
21
lots of
and she detect
evil.
the brain.
No,
Can I detect the brain?
you detect
Shit.
evil all over. Like, there's evil next to you.
Well, I mean, like,
And
but the sword.
there's evil everywhere.
Yeah,
there's-
but like, is there a more amplified evil?
Oddly,
No.
there's more evil outside for once than there is inside. Yes.
No,
That
you
is-
know what I mean when I
You
say
don't
like
you don't see it like a
essential-
concentration of evil. God, that'd be
The
so
answer is no.
No, I mean, like, no, you're not able to pinpoint it. You know that they are all tied with the same evil thread. Like,
Does anyone
what-
here have a scry ability or a knowledge ability?
Like a spell.
I have
or-
telepathy. I
That
also have
might
awakened
help.
mind.
Hold on to that for a moment. Does anyone have any knowledges at all? Any knowledge skills?
I have
Let's see.
Arcana.
I have history.
Arcana and history.
Okay.
Oh, I have clairvoyance.
Knowledge
Clairvoyance
arcana
is-
check high enough, Gandhi. You want to set the difficulty, but a moderately high knowledge arcana check could probably figure out that there's a big brain.
Patrick doesn't
think
know
with knowledge
shit about
history, it's about, like,
Illithids. He
an
knows
18 or something.
nothing about Illithids.
Okay, so from, like,
He just
in
rolled a
character-
1.
Okay, so like in character, Grace wants to start this whole. So she wants to think.
Damn it.
She wants to like think her way out of, out of the current fuck that we're in.
All right, you hear a loud banging on the front door of the Pig Zebo, the SS Pigsy baby.
Wait, we're
Can
still
we
in
read the
space
fridge?
though? Someone's
No,
knocking
you
the door.
guys have landed. Remember,
Oh.
you told them to go there. It takes you directly
Oh,
to
yeah.
that same spot. You guys crashed down. You heard a splash of old cake, and it's sprayed all over. And now there's a contingent of Illithids approaching. That's why I had you guys roll
I
for
leave
wisdom
the
for whether or not you would
fridge At the
notice.
sound of knocking.
No, don't open the door.
That's a high enough knowledge arcana check that Grace should get some of that information.
Well, and Carlos rolled a 20 on wisdom, so now is aware of the fact that there are Illithids outside. Grace,
Orbit. Get us
yeah,
into
I would
orbit.
say Grace, you're aware that you would have to tackle the main brain, and that they probably wouldn't
Okay.
have it on the same location.
It would
And
be
if
on
they
the
would-
planet.
If they would, it would be in the most highly guarded place you could have.
Carlos uses prestidigitation to amplify his voice.
I like
and yells,
Necron's idea.
Our jailers found us, and quick, fly, 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 and points at the Patrick.
Patrick,
Okay.
get us into
go
the
to orbit,
loopy thing
yeah.
around the planet.
Okay. He's like, which
Orbit?
cartridge?
Up!
We
just take us
orbit the planet?
into
Any-
space.
Orbit. Yeah.
Okay.
Just fucking orbit the planet.
That's not a thing. All right.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Back to the
It's-
space station then.
Okay, he's like, all right, so he can push the button with the wings to go up, or he can put a cartridge in. That's the choice you guys have.
Push the button with the wings and get us in orbit.
Okay, so he pushes it, and you guys start to like pig wings pop out of the ship, and it just starts to flutter up and squeal. And so that's what's happening right now. Stop sending messages. Messes up all the cameras. Okay. Okay, so the pig ship is flapping its wings and slowly making its way up, and let's see here. There's still banging on the front door, and you hear some screaming. Just FYI.
Chip, can you tell us what's banging on the door, please?
Chip?
Yes, Chip. The ship used to
Oh,
talk.
I heard Chip. No, this ship's never talked. It was the other ship.
Oh,
This
Patrick, you know what
like a
I'm
pig.
for.
Yeah.
Is
He
there a
said,
window? Can I look out the window?
yeah, it said that there's a screen in front of it. There's an Illithid banging on the door, and I think that he probably would do a mind blast. What do you think if he was in that circumstance?
Maybe,
How is he
especially if
reaching
we
door?
electrified the hull. 'Cause that's what I would do.
Well, I mean, I don't know that you have the ability to.
No, I'm gonna see if we. I don't know what the ship can do. Are there any
Okay.
buttons that look like they might be defense related?
There's a green button and a red button and a yellow button and a brown button.
Oh. Do they have any labels on them?
They say green, red, yellow, and brown.
I walk up to the buttons. What are they?
Make a wisdom check here to see if I can figure out what button I should press.
What button do I press?
Okay.
Oh,
20
I'm back
total.
from the bathroom. I'm back from the bathroom. What did
All
I
right. So, Necron, with that score, you're pretty sure that red locks it, green opens it, and yellow and brown may be defense mechanisms of some kind.
I'll hit the brown button.
Okay. Okay, so let me see what happens.
I love that he's knocking on the door while it's flying.
Let me in. Okay,
What's
so
that
you push the brown button, and you hear like a nasty farting sound, like, and
Yep, I knew it.
and like a bunch of old rotten gross cake bits just pile on top of the guy, and so now he's there covered in old rotten cake. Some of it got in his mouth, and
I go press the other one.
okay. So
I go press
he's
the other one.
he's just barely clinging on right now. He's barely clinging on.
Press the yellow one. Necron, come on.
Yellow button.
Okay,
Make him
push the
suffer.
yellow button. Okay, and then so yellow liquid starts pouring all over him, and let's see if he holds on.
Does he hold
No,
on?
he doesn't. All right.
No, he doesn't.
What would an Illithid say as he was falling from several hundred meters?
Well, given that it's a hive mind, probably not again.
There you go. All right, so you shat and pissed on the Illithid at your door, and he fell to his doom. And you are free. You are free.
Nice.
So the ship continues to flutter up with its little piggly wings, going. I don't know, you know.
Do one of you know about these creatures? Someone made a knowledge
is
arcana
something you
check.
Oh,
I think
Grace
Oh.
did.
Cass, your character knows about Illithids. Tell the party what you know, especially about the brain thing.
Okay. So I didn't know what was going on. I know stuff about
An Illithid tried to attack our ship and we pooped on it.
Okay, cool. So there's a brain that if we want to kill Illithids, we got to kill the brain. Now we need to think about how we're gonna handle that because there's some big boy stuff, and we obviously don't have the townspeople to help us because they're all.
Can we
alpha.
explode the planets? Oh, I'm sorry, the building.
Have we figured out where it is, or do we still need to figure that out?
Probably need to figure out where it is first.
Is there a way we can scan the building?
Do we
Wait,
think
if we
it's
take
on
out the
planet, or-
hive mind, will it kill all the Illithids?
Carlos starts
No.
jumping up and down and says, guys, I have an idea.
They'll go into a state of panic and flee.
Okay.
If
Okay, hear me out.
if-
Oh, you first?
Yeah. So if we like separate Big Brain from the Illithids, they'll freak out? Would it look like something like a magic circle put around the Big Brain, cut off the connection?
You need to kill it.
Yeah,
We might think would work.
it would need to die or be incapacitated.
Yeah, I mean,
So we
you
need
can
to
kill it.
find
Like
fight.
I said, Drizzit was captured for like 6 months by one, but when he woke up, he killed it back. Pretty sure he killed it back.
So
By
Right, I
stabbing
just
it.
wanted to think if there was like
logically,
better way than risk
What?
fight.
so logically that the hive mind has to be either in orbit or somewhere in near proximity to that town, like within a couple 100 kilometers. It would have to
Okay.
be within that range.
Okay.
You guys have a map of the town. You guys can look at it and try and decide strategically where you would want to
Yeah,
fall
wow.
there. You also do have the location points for that dungeon, which is near to the city but not directly in the middle. The thing is that you guys ended up that place down in this bottom left corner with the UFO. I mean,
Yeah, we don't have the map. You have the map
Yeah,
up
we
if we
don't.
don't.
there you go.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah.
So you guys were right down there in this bottom left-hand corner.
Where the spaceship is.
Yeah, that's the standard spot where your directions take you.
Could it possibly be in the big giant tower in the middle of town? Or maybe floating in that balloon?
That makes a lot of sense. Yes. If I were
What about
if I
the
were a
radio
crazed
tower?
lunatic, which I definitely am, I'd put a giant mind-controlling brain in a big tower in the center.
Carlos puts his hand down, stops jumping up and down, and says, I guess
Okay,
we
what-
can do that.
Well, what was your idea? Did it involve chairs?
I mean, just a little?
all ideas involve chairs. It's just
what
how
kind of
many.
idea doesn't involve chairs? He says, confused.
Like,
Listen,
what is this
kidnap one of the
madness?
Illithids, beat it up, and torture it for information on where the brain is. Or we can read its mind. You guys can
I
read
imagine
minds,
if
right?
we captured a hive drone, he'd just tell all the other hive drones where to find us. So
I
torturing
think
hive
they
drones.
know that we're in the big floating pig ship, though.
Then where are
I
we gonna
mean,
get one
you've
and,
got a
and
point.
put it to torture? I'm all for torturing and information gathering, even just torturing, but like, I don't know how that would work when it comes to a hive drone. Do we still have? Did that one fall to its death? How would
Yeah,
we grab
yeah,
it?
it fell.
Individuals.
Yeah.
No,
So,
that's what I'm saying, like,
all right. So just before you got back from going potty, Grace,
You could actually. You got it far enough away from the brain.
they made the ship. They made the ship shit all of the old rotten cake on it and pee on it, all of its excreted liquids and solids, and the Illithid fell to its doom.
We have light speed travel. We capture a single Illithid, travel really far away from this planet, it'll disconnect from the brain, and then we can get information from it. Easy peasy.
I don't know if that's as easy as you make it sound, but like, yeah.
I
sure.
mean,
Easy peasy.
I think that's
Easy
pretty
peasy.
easy.
Starts waving his hand and doing a little dance.
Easy peasy. I'm Italian, the chairmaster.
Wait a
Can we,
minute.
like,
It's
couldn't
as
it
easy
be-
as slipping
Can
past
we,
50
like-
Illithids.
Is there like a track beam on this ship or something?
Tractor beam.
I mean, you guys haven't really explored the functionality of the ship very much.
Shit, yeah.
you
let's,
guys can ask Patrick to tell you what he knows. He does know a little bit more than you guys. You guys
just gonna look
now
around.
know how to make the ship excrete both solid and liquid materials. So that's a new skill you have.
Do
I will
we,
investigate to see if I can find a tractor beam.
Patrick, does this ship have any tools that would be useful in abduction?
Well, I have to say, as someone who's abducted quite a few gully dwarfs so far, yes, it does. Yes, it does. My preferred tactic is pretty simple, though. I just push them into the wall.
Yes, well,
I
we're
rolled
looking to
investigate.
capture an Illithid alive.
Okay,
I
well,
rolled
I haven't
investigate. Is
killed
that
a
tractor
single
beam?
one of my gully dwarfs, which I think you cannot say, Necron.
Gosh darn it, did my mic die?
No, we hear you.
Mic check.
We hear you.
Oh, you hear me?
You can
Yeah.
hear
Cool.
me.
Thank you.
So what happened? I disconnected.
I rolled a 22. Is there a tractor beam?
What are we doing?
We're asking Patrick what the ship can do to help us.
Yeah,
abduct
asking
an Illithid.
Patrick. Okay,
Awesome.
so,
Okay, cool.
Carlos doesn't find a tractor beam, but he does find a way to open and close the mouth outside of the door. So there's an additional door closure thing. So that same spot where the guy was, there was an additional way to close exterior so that you actually end up with a proper airlock. So far, you guys have been using. So far, you guys have been using only one of the doors to get in, and opening up the whole atmosphere every time you went in and out, which is why you always had to connect up to things. But so Carlos found a way to close the mouth along with the throat, because you guys have been going in the throat and not.
Of the pig?
Yeah. You've been going in like a mouth-shaped hole each time. But
I thought we were going in from like the side of the pig.
No, it's been like
Oh, that's funny.
you've been walking into the mouth of it, and it had cover, but Carlos just found a way to close the exterior hatch on it. So
Rose starts pushing the button over and over and says, "Look, I can make the pig open and close its mouth. It's talking."
Yeah, we'll say that every time the door closes, it squeals. Okay.
Rose giggles, makes it do it like 5 or 6 times, and then stops.
Okay, so yeah, repeated squeals echo through space. You now have entered the upper atmosphere, and you're about to the point where sound no longer would travel outside the ship. For those of you guys who are watching, just so it's clear, we're playing a version of Dungeons and Dragons. It's kind of a little mix and match with future space tech. The question comes up a lot, but basically the idea is that it's regular Dungeons and Dragons, except for enough time has passed that they have spacefaring technology. So that's the core concept. That's why all the regular races and wars and the history that is behind Dungeons and Dragons can still exist while being in a far future environment. So
Grace appears to be muted, but they're asking if they can scoop up an Illithid with the pig mouth. Carlos second.
No,
this
I'm
plan.
just trying to.
Oh.
Keep trying to talk, but which is fine. That's why.
Yeah. Okay,
Sorry.
so go ahead.
So can we scoop up the Illithid with the pig mouth? Is that something we can do?
Well, I mean, you guys are like probably like 20 to 50 kilometers up in the air at this point,
We can land again.
above the place. But yeah, if you guys wanted, theoretically, that's something with skill that you could do.
I meant like the falling one. Like how long does it take?
No, he's dead.
I mean, it probably already fell.
Oh.
We just
He's
need
dead.
to land, wait for an Illithid to approach our door, and then close the mouth.
So
Sure,
It
let's
wouldn't
do
be
that.
hard to lure one into.
Wait,
the
it's a
ship.
double hatch, right? It's a double
that's
hatch,
what
or-
Carlos just figured out.
Yeah.
Was how
Yeah,
to
it's a
close
double
the
check,
external
yeah.
hatch. So Necron, you were asking Patrick though. What questions were you asking?
Well, I mean, out of game, I want to know if there's like a tractor beam or a teleporter or something. He just wouldn't know how to word it.
Yeah, but you can't. I'm not gonna.
Oh wait,
I don't-
I've noticed there's a lot of things this ship can do that magic can do. Magic can teleport a person from one place to another, like that. Can this ship do something like that?
But not off the bat. No. It's got the wall trick, like when you go to sleep.
Yeah, no, but that only works if they're small and stupid. No, we need maybe an arm that comes out from the ship on a string and grabs the person and yeets them up into the air.
I mean, Not that I know of. I'm pretty sure I would have a lot more golly dwarfs if it did.
You have a good point. You're a very greedy and evil man.
Thank you.
I should have trusted in you more.
So,
I'm sorry
My
for
character says,
doubting.
let's just eat them.
I'm sorry
He
for
puts a hand
doubting.
on Patrick's shoulder and says, can you get us back to the ground so we can eat one of the little squid guys?
okay. But it's like, I did want to show you a trick, okay? And he takes you over, Necron, to the wall. And so each of the sections of the wall that you guys normally go in to sleep on, he pulls open a little panel that you guys hadn't seen before next to him, and then he shows you that there's a red and a green and a blue button, and it's like, if you want to make sure they don't come out on their own, just push the red button.
What do you mean, they?
Anyone who goes in the wall, you know how you just freely walk in, walk back out?
Yes, what's the red button do?
That lets me decide if you're going to wake up.
I don't.
Okay, so
I don't
we
follow.
can catch them and keep them asleep inside the stasis thing. I think is.
These are like the jails. The Illithid tie us in, only they put us in a stasis, I think.
Oh, really?
Says
How-
Carlos,
I
pushing the
see.
button.
How do you think I have so many goddamn golly dwarfs in this ship? Do you think I just
Aye.
let them come out on their own? These ones I'm just having fun with now.
Okay.
Yeah, what are the other
We can
two
We can
buttons?
snatch them and make them sleep. Okay, so we can snatch them and make them. I think that's what we're gonna.
Green lets them do whatever they want. You walk in a green pod, you can come in and out as freely as can be. I don't know what the blue button does. I've never pushed it.
Carlos pushes the blue button.
Oh, I wish Shell was here.
No, I think we have. Carlos.
Don't you have Shell? She's mounted.
We do have Shell here. Carlos
Just
pushes the blue
reanimate
button and
it.
waits to see if anything happens. Does anything happen when I push the blue button?
No, nothing happens immediately.
He pushes it again, grabs a gully dwarf, throws it in there, and pushes the blue button again.
Okay, you throw the gully dwarf and it hits the wall.
It's the wall.
Of course it does.
It doesn't go
Oh.
in.
The
Oh, there's
blue
like
button is a door that doesn't activate stasis, says Carlos, beaming.
Is it like a force field?
No, it's just you just threw a gully dwarf into the wall.
Put the gully dwarf in there and then push the blue button.
Yes. That's what I tried to
Yeah,
do. I
that's
pushed the
what
blue
we'll do.
button once, nothing happened. I pushed it again to turn it off, threw a gully dwarf in, and then pushed the blue button.
Okay,
Right.
and then
Where?
you hear knocking.
So what happened?
Press the blue button
Who
again.
is it? Who is it?
Okay, so wait, you
What's going on?
all right. So you hear knocking, and you can hear the gully dwarf screaming from the other side.
Like painful screaming or just I'm scared
No, just let me out.
screaming?
You know, normal gully
Okay,
dwarf
So,
screaming.
all right, cool. So let's just leave it in there and go pick up an Illithid off the ground.
You guys walk away, but the moment you're out of range, Carlos pushes the blue button again because he doesn't like the noise.
Okay, and the gully dwarf walks out. And
I
he
thought there was a green, blue, and a red.
and he
button.
shivers and he's "Ugh."
Green button is open, blue button is door, and red button is sleep.
Okay, cool. Let's go get a guy. Let's go.
So green is the state that it's been in for whenever you guys go in, which means that you go into stasis, but you still are sentient enough to come out on your own. Okay.
Sure.
Red means that you can put someone in there, but they don't have the ability to come out voluntarily. All right.
And then blue.
Blue.
Scream and yell.
Well, blue, they were on the other side of that wall.
But he wasn't asleep.
He wasn't asleep.
Right.
Okay, I think I understand what's going on now. Okay.
Hooray.
Okay.
So let's go get an Illithid and torch it.
I like that no one is upset that I threw a gully dwarf into a room and pushed buttons we don't know.
I mean, I feel like, why else would Patrick have so many gully dwarfs other than science?
Anything. Meredith, you okay?
Okay.
Or Rex?
Okay, so, but by the way, Meredith, did you have anything that you had wanted to do while we were up there, or are you satisfied with the amount of science that has occurred so far on this voyage?
Is there a launch it out the airlock?
I mean,
3 buttons.
you have an actual airlock now, so.
Yeah, but like, can we throw something in a stasis and then just launch it out shoot it out?
I mean, all you guys did is put a gully dwarf in there. If you want to experiment with it, you might want to send someone who knows what the fuck's going on.
Patrick, do the thing.
Okay, I pushed the blue button.
Okay, can we just go get an Illithid?
He's not gonna walk in.
Carlos walks over to Patrick. Carlos starts trying to guide Patrick into scooping up an Illithid with the pig ship. He's like, "This is like the game Pac-Man. You know Pac-Man. You just go over and eat one of the pellets."
Okay. All right. So you guys want Patrick to fly the ship back down, or do you want to immediately pop back in place? You have a couple choices. Okay. Remember, you have a nearby location to that dungeon. Remember the dungeon with the clowns? You do have the directions to that. That's like
fun place.
That's like 10 or 15 clicks out from town. You also have the one that takes you straight into town, the one that you just did. You also have the location for the arena and the science station. Or you could go back to the Illithid base that you just escaped. I mean, if that's what you wanted to do.
So we're not capturing one of the Illithids?
We are capturing.
The question is, what do you guys want to do? You're just floating in space right now. I was making sure it was clear that you guys basically went 50 clicks above the planet. You're floating over top, and you're deciding how best to capture an Illithid. You have a little bit better understanding of the stasis pod functionality now. You have a little bit better understanding of how the front of the ship works as well. Right now, you're just floating in a squealing spaceship in space. So there you go.
Let's appear on the outskirts of town where there are less Illithids, pokes one into the mouth, scoop it up, fly away, and then we can torture it and also maybe get information.
I like this plan.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, if we kidnap it, we'll go back to that other space station so we're far away from the brain.
Let's do that.
I wonder how sensitive those tentacles are.
Okay.
I have a feeling Necron would already know how sensitive tentacles are.
I mean, like,
I haven't had the joyous opportunity to torture one of their species yet, but I look forward to trying.
All right, guys, draw an arrow to where you guys want to land on the map.
We want to land on the outskirts of town, and that's not on the map.
Yeah, let's...
Okay, so you guys want to pull, like, so do you want to go south, north, east, or west?
Let's go north.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so you guys go up between that clown place and the main city, and you're just gonna park. You're gonna park on the main road, outskirts. What are you gonna do?
Well, let's
open the front door and then just leave that open, but like keep the back front door closed.
Okay.
And then leave a cake. Just right in the middle.
Oh yeah, and then trap them in the mouth of the pig and then go into orbit.
Okay.
Yeah, and then automatically launch ourselves into orbit.
And we'll have the cartridge ready, so the moment we got them, we can launch.
Okay.
Yeah. Patrick, be ready to launch.
Okay. At the ready, Meredith. Also, who's putting the cake out? We're still in space. So we might want to wait. I guess we could close the front of the pig mouth if Carlos promises to stop opening it and closing it and making piggy sounds.
Yes, please.
Carlos
I'll
Snickers
bake a
rubs his
cake
hands
while we
together and says,
fly.
I promise, and then taps the button once to close enough.
Okay.
I'll bake a cake while we fly.
All right, so you guys bake a cake. You want to go ahead and Meredith, go ahead and do a performance check.
Here goes nothing.
All right, it's a pretty okay
It's a
cake.
Pretty okay cake.
All right, so you bake a pretty okay cake. You were in a hurry, you know. You put it out on front. It still smells a little bit like rotten cake and spaceship piss. But you know,
We'll clean
it'll
it
have to do.
We'll clean it later.
All right, and
Okay, but we have a cake baking contest, says Carlos.
ooh, contests.
Shell used to bake cakes.
So
then I kind of
Meredith
just sold
probably
back
would be
in.
crying the whole time she made the fucking cake. I know it.
My
Shell.
my tears went into it, so did my snot.
I'm so happy they brought the war right to us.
This war better be fucking worth it.
Oh no, he dropped the call. The cameras are all messed up again.
Sorry.
I'm realizing how off-center mine is.
This is like, well, it's until he comes back. Now,
I'll take this moment to turn on my own.
there you go. Here he is.
By the way, Carlos's camera is just a thing of. Oh, there we go.
There he is.
I'm still here.
No worries. Okay, so the cake is in the front. It is it's ready to go. Patrick is making his way, flying down towards the ground, and let's do a performance check to see how good his landing is.
Please be good. Please be good. Please be good.
All right, we'll see how loud the squeals of terror will be. Right. That's pretty okay landing. All right, so you guys oink gently onto the ground, and I guess you're gonna wait. Does anyone have any additional things they want to do to further attempt to lure Illithids over, other than a random
we need
cake?
one with it. We don't want to be too successful.
Let's tie up a gully dwarf right next to the cake.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
so
put a
let's do
sign
that.
on it that says "Free Brain, barely used."
Barely is. I don't know.
agree, we should do
Would it
that.
be unhealthy for an Illithid to eat a gully dwarf brain? I mean, like, it's like,
Nope, as long as it's a sentient creature.
okay.
I mean, are gully dwarfs sentient? Like, are dogs
All right,
sentient?
so really what you end up doing is you've got a gully dwarf tied next to a cake. The gully dwarf has kind of like scooted over and is like eating on the side of the cake while it lays on its side. You got the sign up.
They are sentient creatures, cats. They're just very stupid.
Yeah.
The smartest one would be like as smart as a 4-year-old.
Oh, okay.
Which is why
They
it's
can't
laying on
count
its
higher
side,
than three.
Consider a
absolutely
4-year-old
not
sentient.
afraid, and attempting to eat the cake while it's tied up next to a sign that says "Free
Okay.
brain, barely used."
They're as
We do the
smart
same
as that
math thing.
4-year-old that belongs to that friend who you don't want to tell them their kid's kind of dumb. Yeah, see? She has one of those friends. Let's hope you're not watching.
Okay, so-
all my cousins.
Oh, that's why she wouldn't share it on Facebook.
I'm so sorry. That's probably why. Comments like these, like, not.
Speaking of sharing on Facebook, guys, make sure you guys do. All right, that way everyone can know about her cousins and their intellectual
I sometimes
challenges.
wonder what my mom would think if she tuned in, and then I remember she's been dead for a year. So that fear never stops being there.
It's funny how that is. Well, I mean, you are playing a necromancer.
I mean, you could just raise your mom.
She would probably find this character funny.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Is it based off of her?
What?
Now if
I
you
did not.
Her favorite thing was to take small, stupid people and kill them and stack them.
You know, man, I'm not one of those people that'll talk nicely about someone just because I love them or because they're dead. No, she was kind of not very nice to people when she didn't have to be. So, yeah,
maybe a little bit.
yeah, not
Okay.
an evil person, but definitely not really.
It came out. And I was
No,
it's okay.
what
It's
you said
okay.
about your mom, so I was just based off of.
Yes, just like that. It's all those things I imagine that my family used to plot to ruin my life, when the truth is they just didn't care.
The ultimate character. It's just the ultimate.
Okay.
All of the nasty.
So, all right. So you guys got a golly dwarf out there. You got a sign. You got the cake
Got a
getting slowly
half-eaten cake.
eaten. All right, and then all right. So you guys see you see 4 illithids coming up to the door, and there's 2 of those. What are those little brain pets? And who am I echoing off of? Okay, it's better now.
Okay. Carlos gets ready on the button. He's going to try to roll dexterity so that he can close the mouth when the first illithid enters.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm probably gonna have to do a combat.
I was gonna say, is that acrobatics? What am I rolling here?
Ooh, athletics. Can I roll the athletics to be like ready?
You're gonna be dexterity. I mean, you guys can have prepared actions at this point. You've been sitting here waiting for a while.
Damn it.
Athletics.
Okay. So Carlos goes to push the button, and he waits until everyone is inside the hold.
Ah.
So there's one of the illithids is eating the cake. Another illithid is eating the brains, and they're squabbling about which one should have been able to eat it a little bit, but they're squabbling silently because they're a hive mind. And
we should fly away.
No, they would still squabble. They still have some independent thought.
Yeah.
They're just always connected to the internet.
Yeah.
Their thoughts.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
so
That sounds like a terrible curse.
all right, so and there's 2 of them are 2 of the things are banging on the door out, and the other 2 are banging on the door in, and you hear a lot of yelling because you've
Second
closed.
chance. Push the button to let the ones that are banging on the door out, and then push it again the second they leave.
Okay.
Oh, we should fly away so we can keep them, and then we can deal with one of them.
We only need one.
Yeah, no. Let's keep both. We can kill the other.
Keep both. No, let's keep both. Like, we'll kill the other one. It'll be fine. If one doesn't talk, we'll kill the other one.
I know. I've got
Okay, but I rolled an 18.
No, it's a great
Okay,
tactic.
you
Hear me
opened
out.
it.
First, we get them away from the brain. Then
We can let them go.
Okay.
we take one out of the cell, just fucking mutilate his body, throw it back into the cell, take the second guy out, question him.
Also, there were 2.
Okay,
there were
so
4 total, right? 2 illithids and 2 like little brain guys.
There's 4 illithids and 2 of the brain guys.
So my goal was to get the 2 that were banging on the door
So,
out
2
by opening the door briefly
Wait
and
a
then
second.
closing it again.
Couldn't we just space them and then retrieve them?
Let's leave
too
and
many
then do it in
Olympics.
space.
All right.
Unless you want to kill them.
I agree with Carlos. Let's just let the 2 out.
Yeah. And Trooper
Oh,
says kill him and
fine.
let God sort him out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Which-
I rolled an 18.
Which
Well,
sounds
kill
like
them
something
later.
Meredith would say.
Kill them later.
All right, so did you or did you not open the door to try and let some of them out, Carlos?
I did open the door to try and let 2 out, and then immediately close it again before the other 2 can turn around. And
Okay.
sprint out.
And so they started to go out, and one of the brain thingies ended up crushed as you closed the door again, so it splattered all over. So now
Carlos giggles and says, "Bonus."
there you go. All right, so you guys can go ahead. Nuclear Fire says kill them all, which would make interrogation difficult.
I like the way you think, nuclear fire. But we need one alive.
At least one. One of the
So there's
5
2?
that are in there. There's 5 now. There's 4 illithids and 1 of their little brain pets in your.
Open it back up again. You gotta let them out because they're.
We let 2 out.
No.
No. You only got
just
1
said
out.
only 1 brain.
You crushed
total?
1. There were 5. There were 6 total. 4
Yeah, open it up now. They'll
illithids.
think it's on a timer. They won't worry about it. Then we'll launch when there's just 2 left.
Okay.
Okay, so
Oh, no.
you open it up, and they let's see. Okay, one of them gets out, and okay, one of them is still there. He's eating the brain.
Okay,
Yes.
keep it open.
The other one gets out. The other one's still in. That one's still in.
I mean, he might not notice if he's still eating that brain. They're like,
Yeah. So there are now only, it looks like, 3 illithids inside there. The rest of them have left. The one that's eating the brain, the one that's eating the cake, and then one that is disgusted by being splattered by all the other goo.
Okay.
Okay.
Me.
Let's try
So
it one
you've
more
got-
time.
No. Carlos puts his hand over the button and says, absolutely not. 3 is plenty. We can take them easy.
Okay.
But
And I'm going to go ahead and try and roll intimidate.
Nuclear fire, I bet you they will break fingers
measure.
and toes and rip the nails out
He is
as
all
needed.
the ferocity of a small kitten.
What did you just do?
did you just try to intimidate me?
Yes.
Who were you intimidating?
You really want to go there?
What? What? Why?
He tried to intimidate
Meredith was
me.
like, we should try again. And Carlos is like, no. And Meredith
And
was
I
like,
just said,
"I'm
we're
scary."
trying again.
Okay. So,
So we're doing it one more time.
Carlos is like,
Okay.
please?
okay. So you
That's
guys.
a very endearing please.
Hold on.
All right. So
Nah.
Grace is asking if you guys can just fly into space.
Yeah.
Grace, boost my roll. Bonus.
Okay. Your role was to just go, right?
My roll is to persuade that we should just go with 3, and I rolled 21. Grace agrees
Okay.
with me, so that should give me a boost.
All right,
And
cool. Meredith,
rolled
you're
22.
convinced.
How does Necron feel about this?
Necron wants to space them all except one, but you know.
Okay. So you guys, what are you gonna tell
He's
Patrick
okay
to
with
do? Patrick is just waiting for the order.
Patrick's up
Here's
down
arguing.
for your plan, Lunar. He's good for it.
Okay.
All right, cool. So, oi! Keep your hands and ears inside the piggly at all times. And he pushes the button and it starts going. And. And so, yeah, it's flapping its piggly wings and making its way up. And you hear screaming. And let me pull up the characters. Go ahead and.
Patrick,
At this point,
there's a hatch. How would we put our hands outside while you were flying?
it's a figure of speech.
I don't understand.
Shut your flab japper. I'm flying
Oh,
right
that
now.
I understand.
All right, let's see here. We go in and we'll. It sounds like a cat being run over by a semi, is what Nuclear Fire said. Okay, so we've got. Where is the combat
Oh,
Oh
tracker?
my gosh, I have the best plan.
What?
Yeah, let's not start having a competition, Nuclear Fire, to see who can come up with the worst form of torture, because nail clipper to the tooth followed by ice cream cone always wins.
Oh God! Shut up! Fuck you! I hate your face, Necron. I hate it.
Well, I can't even hurt right now,
Excited.
but I think I could do it.
All right, and
I've had a lot of torture all up in my mouth before.
No, let's
Fine.
not have this competition.
okay, so it was
Oh
saying
shit! I thought I had lost this.
what? Here,
I bought some stuff that was expensive enough that I only got a small amount of it, and then I thought I either finished it or lost it, and I just found the rest of it.
All right, so I just rolled initiative for you guys. You guys sense that they are about to start retaliating now that they're in space. So
Where's our map?
you guys aren't actually in space yet, so you're not out of the gravity well. FYI.
That's fine. They're trapped in the airlock.
And well,
Behind the door?
I guess.
What'd you say, man? Cass?
Are they behind a door?
You're blinking in and out.
Yeah, they're behind a door, but I guess
they're trapped in the hatch between the exterior of the ship and the interior of the ship.
There is something you guys probably don't know about Illithids, though. So we'll see how you guys fare.
They have mind powers.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mind Blast works through walls. Oh, I know that, but Necron doesn't know that. So
Yeah.
Maybe we should warp
I
to
think there's a greater than
different
zero
place.
chance that Carlos either has noticed that by now or would notice that because telepathy.
you'll notice it the moment they do it.
Yeah, we're all about to notice it, okay? We're all about to notice Mind
You can
Blast.
thank me for this one. I gave him the idea sessions ago.
Where's our?
You can thank him for the fact that he brought Mind Flayers into this game in the first place. Okay, there's a little Mind Flayer. There's a little Mind
They
Flayer.
can mind control people. They have psychic attacks. Where do you need? Also, they eat brains.
I've hit almost all my favorite D&D wish list places to go now. The last one left, and I only want to go there because it has my favorite name, is the Clockwork Nirvana of Mechanus.
Oh, God. So
you mean
Trooper just
that.
gave us the worst torture. If you want to look there, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, man. The only living creatures I know of are the ant people, the Zill. Everything else are like clockwork beings. So you basically have ants and machinery.
The only D&D bucket list I have so far is when someone makes the foolish mistake to bring Carlos with them into a bar.
Oh, that's right. He hates three-legged bar stools, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, that's one reason. There's all kinds of fun events that are going to unfold the moment someone does this.
All right. So
Oh man.
I guess you guys have a deep foreboding that has overcome you. Meredith, roll wisdom to see how deep your foreboding is.
Just
Right. Everybody with a wisdom bonus.
Not very.
Okay. Well, no, Meredith, you sense that they're about to attack. Carlos, you sense they're about to attack. Necron, you have a deep foreboding that they can still attack you from
Can
that
I yell
side.
at Patrick to just warp us to the space station?
That isn't gonna help.
Well, if they do it, they can like
The
disconnect and be
Necron's
frazzled
just
by
gonna
it.
say, "Let them in."
Okay.
Oh, they'll just.
No,
Oh,
they're
geez.
going to do something, and I don't want it to break my ship. Let them in.
Fine. I'll fucking open the door.
All right. Can you guys position yourselves
where's the map?
inside the
I can't
cabin
see the
where
map.
you would?
What's the map called?
Can you pop the map to me?
There it is.
I see it now.
Excellent.
It's called the kitchen.
On this map, where are the cells that we sleep in? Get like circle or something.
Where do I get my token from?
I'll drag him over here for you guys.
All
I'm
right.
still by the front door.
He's
Isn't
Patrick's
Patrick over there?
Patrick's always next to the controls.
I was over by the control. I was over by the door control.
No, but behind the paladin's actually a very safe place to be.
Where's
I was
before I put
over
where my
by the
character is?
door control.
Where are we trying to get the Illithid to? Where's the holding cell?
Well,
All across the wall are holding cells. So
So I'm gonna circle anywhere. Oh god, that's not a circle.
yeah, you just have to make sure you
Anywhere
actually
over
turn it
here
into a holding
and
cell.
Anywhere over
That line.
here, like
Basically
either
where
of
that
these two
line
spots.
is.
All of the walls have available spots.
So the ones by the door also have available spots.
Yeah, there's spots all along. Anything that
Okay.
doesn't already have furniture has a panel nearby.
Understood.
where's Grace? Where's the token for Grace?
Trying to add him. I think I have to add him to the There we go.
Thinking about here, or I could do here in full risky, but I don't really want to get swarmed by 3 with it today.
Where?
Okay. Grace is last on the list of results. So go ahead, Grace. You should be able to position yourself wherever you want, or let me know. Wait. Necron, did you see the torture method suggested by Trooper? I thought
No, hold on. I had chat minimized. Let's see here.
Okay. I totally meant to bring
Oh,
up
yeah.
something right before the session started, and I forgot to bring it up, but I tried to do it before the session started.
What's that?
I have a friend who knows D&D, and he says that my character is supposed to have 3 Eldritch spells by now. Is that correct?
I don't know. You'll have to
I don't know
look at it.
warlocks very well.
Oh,
Shit.
he said I was supposed to have
Can
3
I-
Eldritch invocations
can I
by now, so I added it to my character.
Invocations, yeah, not spell. There's
Can I pull out my shield and then like do an
Invocations
action
are still in the spell section.
Yeah, you can.
before they,
Well, you can do that now that you guys all had a sense of it. So go ahead and do that as your
I
action
pull my
before the door
shield,
opens.
and then right before they open, I do branding smite on myself just in case. Cause bitch, I'm a blast some face in.
That sounds terrible, nuclear fire.
Blast some face. Let's go.
I think it's something about Mary is where I remember a scene where the guy got his dick caught in the zipper.
Yeah, that was the opening scene of There's Something About Mary.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Frankenbeans!
All right.
I saw
have
that
the shield
movie
out.
with my mom. The second time I saw it, it was awkward.
It is an awkward one to watch with a parent. Okay, so cool. Who's opening the door? Meredith, you were?
Yeah, I opened the door.
Cool. And it is your
With
turn.
the fucking,
Yeah.
I branded my shit. I pulled out my shield and I fucking opened the door.
Okay.
Like a boss.
Fuck yeah! And I like hold my shield up and I'm just
That's
like,
too far
oh
away.
shit,
Yeah.
really?
All right. So go ahead. There's 3 mind flayers in front of you. One is covered in cake. The other is covered in guts, and the other is still holding the little that remains of the golly dwarf that he sucked the brains out of.
I go, we only need one, right?
Correct.
Yes.
I charge Mind Flare 1. Or no, I charge Mind Flare 2 because that's in target line of sight.
Yeah, Grace, you can cast your spell before they go, since you had prepared one.
Very cool. So I'm gonna.
You go first, though, Meredith. You were first in order.
Okay. Charging is charging an ability?
Yeah,
Or is charging a turn, I mean?
it's not a turn. It's your
You
movement.
just need to have enough room.
Okay, so I charged right at Mind Flare 2,
Okay.
and I go,
Remember, you're charging, so you get advantage this roll. Meaning
How
you
do I
roll
do
2d20s and keep the largest of the 2.
okay. 2,
I think on your... Is there a...
I can...
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. I did just stupid.
Okay.
Which one? 12.
12. So 12, what's your modifier? It's, what's your strength?
7. My strength is 19? There, plus 4.
Okay, so you're a +4 bonus, and the axe, is your item a +1 item?
Yes.
So that's +5, so 12, 17 is what you rolled.
I rolled a 17.
Yeah, 'cause 12. Yeah, the problem with this program is it doesn't let us roll with advantage, so we have to kind of flub it.
So
You roll a 1 and a 12. The one that you keep is the 12 because it's the highest of the 2, and you add all your attack bonuses to that to see if you hit.
Okay, so do...
Charging
So
is an
does
ability.
17 hit is what I'm asking Joe. Is 17 high enough to hit?
Well, it was a miss, but 17 is definitely high enough to hit. So yeah, you're good.
Can I say that I hit him then?
Yeah, you hit.
Cool.
I
There
agree,
probably is
Trooper.
a way to roll with advantage. damage. I just don't know what it is.
I think you just right click.
Fuck, there's so many maps. Okay.
Let's try that. Let's see. Action.
And then I
Well, so
16, and then I hit him again, right?
well, if she properly cast it on herself, then it would have rolled with advantage anyways. She just has to actually cast that ability on herself. All right, so yeah, you did 16 damage, and yeah, you do a second attack.
Okay. Do I hit it?
Yeah, what it comes down to is you would roll the damage. You roll the attack twice. If you get a crit on the first go, then just roll the once though. So
and
there you go. So you do 11 damage, and that's the end of your turn. So now let's let Grace say what their prepared action was.
I smash it into the ground, pretty much. That's basically what I just did, because it's dead, right?
No, it is not.
Oh, what?
Mind flayers are super powerful.
God damn it! Kill, die.
Yeah.
I hate you.
Mind flayers are not easy. They're like Trooper's wife. They have the charge ability too.
And hold on, I'm just trying to figure out where I'm putting it.
Yeah, no worries. Now remember, like a mind flayer, if you were to like go like unconscious in front of it, it could just straight up eat your brain and like kill you like on the spot. Like,
yep,
it's
full round action though.
Yeah, they're very powerful compared to just like regular bullcrap creatures.
If we get into trouble, my plan is to have Patrick open the hatch and have them sucked out into space.
Oh, cool.
Along with various other
I'd like
things.
to point out that Rex is standing at the hatch.
Yeah.
But we can always collect her. It's better than having her brain sucked out.
That weird moment when having your brain sucked out is preferable to having everything explode.
So Grace just went through and did what? How many times are you doing damage to it? Or are you doing it to each of them? What?
Shatter, they all... So
what?
They all get smacked. I cast Shatter, I ready to spell cast Shatter, they all failed this.
Okay, cool. So you cast Shatter and hit those ones. Luckily, you were able to do it in a way that didn't hurt Rex too, so that's pretty nice. And cool. So looks like we had 16 damage or 17 damage, 26 damage, and 22 damage. Did a pretty good job there. By the way, folks who are watching, do you prefer it with the screen small like this so that you can see the rolls, or did you prefer it when it was full screen behind? I felt like since the main thing you're concerned about is seeing us actually role playing, but also probably seeing what the hell's going on that roller. Now I could do this where I widen it out and then just move this roller so that it's a little more visible. All right, you liked it. You liked it when it was squished up here so that it's a little bit clearer what's going on. Okay, cool. Now, next person's turn is Carlos.
See this area with the 5?
Yeah.
The little line. Is there a door here, or to put the mind flayer in, would he have to be up in this area?
That's like that's the door that's open. So that door is open now.
This one is the door that's open.
Yeah, well, so...
But what I'm asking is there a door right here?
Is the pig mouth open, you mean?
Yeah, it's open.
No, the cell we're trying to put him in.
Oh,
Okay, what I'm basically asking is, if I was standing here and I pushed him this way, could I push him through some kind of opening here?
No. Only on the inside. You got to get him inside the ship.
That sucks. Okay.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's...
Can I make my prepared action yeet Ravender at him and try to sweep him this way?
don't need to prepare an action. Your turn.
It's your turn. Yeah. So.
Dang, I failed D.
Let's knock them out, and then we can.
I guess we can do that.
I didn't catch any of that last sentence.
It's gonna be dangerous until they're unconscious. So
Knock them out and jam them in the holes is suggestion.
I'm a little worried we're gonna accidentally kill them.
Well, I have hold person as a spell, so I plan on saving that one for last.
I have compulsion, so I was gonna see if I could try and force him to walk in there.
Okay.
But he'd have to be up here for me to use it. Okay, that's fair.
Okay, so what are you gonna do?
Pew pew pew. The answer is
I'm going to use the turn to cast Mage Armor because I don't want to die again.
Okay. So cast Mage Armor then.
What?
Mage Armor invocation that you get from?
You're fading in and out. I can't tell what you're saying.
He's asking where you're getting mage armor from.
From my Eldritch Invocation.
Okay, you can do that as well. So take a turn.
I can do what?
It's a level 1 spell for Carlos.
Yes.
I don't think it's at will, so that would actually be something you'd have to do.
Is it my turn? I'm so confused.
Yeah, it's your turn. It's been your turn. That's why I asked you what you were gonna do.
How do I cast spells? I've forgotten everything.
Go to the
go to
action tab
actions.
on your character sheet.
Okay.
And then you're gonna click this little hourglass thing, or the little magnifying glass thing next to the mage armor, and you drag the AC 3 to yourself,
Thank you.
and that'll give you the extra AC. So there you go. Now for the next 8 hours, you have an additional 3 AC.
I can't also attack, right? That'd have to be the end of my turn.
I mean, could do a move, or you could.
You can. Carlos should still be able to move, but not attack.
Yeah.
Okay. I scoot over here and pass my turn.
Okay.
Once I find a battle tracker, because there's a lot.
All right, and then we got Necron. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna try to cast Hold Person on Mind Flare 3.
Okay. And they fail it, so that means the hold succeeds.
Mind Flare 3, and I point up and I go, "That one cannot move
Okay.
by the power of my goddess."
All right, and what did you chant anything when you were casting the spell?
No, just that one cannot move. In the name of my goddess.
There you go.
Like he was trying to inform you, and then he wanted to be all forceful about it.
Okay, perfect. All right, you gonna move as well?
Carlos waves his hand mystically and tries to amplify the effect by making his chair spin around you. But it
No,
just
he
makes
still
everything a
feels
little bit
he's
later.
I'm gonna move over here,
'Kay.
and this way I'm out of the line of fire, but I can run in and heal the meat shield if I need to.
Understood. All right, and Patrick
Thank you,
is
Shield.
Did you just call me Meat Shield?
That is what you call a paladin. A paladin is a meat shield.
Yeah.
Oh, Meredith is kind of slightly offended.
Necron
Meredith
didn't
is
say it.
not.
Eric did.
Necron didn't say
Oh
it.
well then.
No,
damn,
that was
fuck.
out of character. He was just
Meat shield is a
clarifying
pretty
his
common
internal
phrase for
strategy.
any situation where you have a human being trying to block attacks.
Fuck.
Yeah, I want you to notice this. Necron has not gone out of his way, except for the shell thing, to be unkind to you, because he's smart enough to know you don't piss off the healer.
Yeah, generally speaking.
So that's him and you.
Trooper says, Harry Potter, he is not.
No.
No, he is very much not. All right, let's see here. We'll go ahead and... what should I do? I think that... yeah, sure. He's going to shout over to Meredith. Oh, you got this! Yeah, you got it! And then he goes back to the controls after cheering you on and giving you True Strike.
Nice.
Mind Flayer
Good luck
1.
missing now.
Mind Flayer 1 goes through and it's gonna do. Let's see here. Probably. It's probably gonna try and grapple Meredith. So it hits. It does 12 damage to you and grapples you. Okay.
That's an opposed strength check.
Let's see here.
That's how it used to work. I don't know if that's how it works.
First, I gotta
Fine.
see if I need to see. She failed the stun check, so the grapple doesn't need to oppose strength. So she is stunned and grappled, and the Mind Flayer feels pretty good about himself right now. I just have to say. And Mind Flayer 2 goes in and is going to. Let's see here. What should it do? Now, in a stunned state, is it possible to do the whole extract mind thing? Or do I need to damage her further?
I know it's a full round action, but I don't know if one of the Mind Flayers would eat the other one's treat if he's the one that stunned it.
Okay.
I mean, especially to make it would be pretty broken if we did it that way. Just make the one that stunned it the one that tries to eat next round.
That would make sense. All right, so the real question is...
The middle one stunned her. Mind Flayer 1 is acting, and Mind Flayer 3 is paralyzed.
I'm just trying to...
Okay, so number 2 is the one.
Okay,
yeah,
and
number
then...
2 is the one that has her, like...
This one is going to go through...
Oh,
missed you.
All right, that one somehow missed you.
20. I have 20. So...
Plus you've got some bonuses there. So Mind Flayer 2... yeah.
When you can't move, you're still protected.
Yeah, and she can't move, and she's stunned and grappled, but it's all good. Mind Flayer 3, it's like...
He's paralyzed.
Paralyzed, yep. So...
Please be behoved.
Okay, Grace, what are you gonna do?
It's gonna shatter again.
Okay.
Nice.
My 2 spells.
That's what they're there for, man.
I mean, well used like that, you did a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage! He's like, fuck it, I'll get the tank. What are you even doing?
Don't shoot the tank.
I'm working on it.
All right. Well,
I mean, you already established you can do it. And
I don't think you need to like get it perfect. I understand what you're doing. All right, Mind Flayer failed. That one succeeded, and that one succeeded. So they take half damage, except for the first one.
Well, he wouldn't be able to dodge anyway. He's paralyzed.
Fucked.
Okay. Well, is shatter mental damage or is it actual physical dodge that you're doing?
I might be wrong about that. Is it a mental dodge or is it a physical?
What's
it save against?
Oh, let me see.
Yeah, it looked like Constitution.
If they're making a Constitution save, it means they're just withstanding it.
Yeah, I think that they just partially withstood it. So the other ones would just take half damage. So you'll just have to roll that damage and I'll apply it manually to the other ones since they withstood it. So 4d8s, is that it?
Hold on.
I think that's what he rolled.
So, okay. 8.
For the number Mind Flayer 2 and Mind Flayer 1.
Okay.
And I already did 3.
Actually, normally the way you do area of effect attacks is you roll once for the whole attack and apply that to everyone, and then half it for anyone that made their save.
Yeah,
Didn't know.
it's fine though, because it's easier to just roll it on each of them, honestly, because of the
Okay.
fact that it automatically applies the damage in the cases
That's
where
right.
they
It's
succeed.
just, yeah, and it's
So,
same effect.
And then this is all right. So 11 to that one, which makes okay. Cool. Damage has been applied, and now it is. Were you gonna move as well, Grace? Or are you good there?
Yeah, move forward a little bit.
Okay. And Meredith, I guess so. Stun. How does stun work? Like, so you're grappled and stunned. Let's look at the info on stun. It's 7. I'm just trying to figure out. You have advantage. You're stunned and grappled. If the stun is just for one turn, then I think it would wear out. So go ahead and do a strength check for me, Meredith.
No problemo.
And this one is going to do a strength.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, and you are still grappled. Hey, Necron, can you let me know what can she do while she's grappled? She's no longer stunned, but she's still grappled, and she failed the save.
She's grappled.
Can I heal myself?
Yes, as long as you can touch yourself, which you always can, you can lay on hands yourself.
Okay, then I just heal myself for 10 health.
Okay, go ahead.
Lay on hands.
So basically,
Wait, how do
Sure.
I change the health?
Here, I'll
thing?
do it. I'll do it. There you go. You're healed. Okay.
Yay, cool. Now I only have 20 health left that I can use for the day.
Okay, Carlos, your turn.
What do cantrips count as? Can I cast a cantrip and then throw a chair?
Sure. Yeah,
Sorry.
Oopsies.
That's awesome.
Fine.
I'm down
I
for
love
that.
the chairs.
How these work?
I fucking love the chairs.
This is the target if it hits, I think.
that seems legitimate.
Nope.
Yeah. Okay,
That's
so
right. We missed with the cantrip. Sucks.
what cantrip was it?
I was gonna use Eldritch Blast.
Okay. All right. Eldritch
Okay,
Blast
I
is a
still throw a chair.
cantrip?
Carlos picks up Ravender, looks at where Rex is standing, and says, "Okay, Ravender, listen to me very carefully. I need you to go past Rex and to hit the Mind Flayer too. Do you think you can do this? This is your greatest moment ever."
Wait, what?
Yes. I threw a chair and I'm trying not to.
Well, it wasn't a critical fail, so he managed not to hit Rex, but he was so worried about hitting Rex that he missed all of the rest of them too.
Damn you, Ravender!
All right, there you go. Necron, what do you do while
We're gonna attack
Carlos
that one that has her
chastises
grappled.
the chair?
Ah!
Roll again. Let's see how bad it is.
Wait. Remember my spell.
Can you do that thing?
I can do that thing.
All right. Bountiful luck.
Haha.
Yay!
Maybe
Just a
Bobby,
regular
it's
miss.
not as
Congratulations. All right. Anything else you'd like to do, Necron?
Nope.
Okay.
No, but no.
All right. Patrick is gonna. Let's see here. Oh, what should I do? I think. Yeah. Why not? I'm gonna cast Fear on this one. Let's see. And it succeeds against my foe. So I'm like, oh Oh, you're just a funny-looking creature, and we're going to kill you. And it was unfazed by my jeering. Unfortunately. And he's like, oh, never mind.
They're a bit resistant to mental attacks.
That makes sense. Patrick probably doesn't really know that, though.
No, I don't think Patrick is up to date on all the popular Illithid information.
No, we did encounter them, but, All right, Mind Flayer 1, he's going then to attempt...
Can I attempt?
Well, you're not stunned anymore, just grappled. So
Okay.
he's going to have to do a regular attack on you again.
Oh, good luck with that. Let's see if he hits me.
Okay, and he hits you with that.
Shit, he hit me.
And he does 9 damage, and he's going to try and stun you again. And you failed, so you're stunned once more. And that means that you're grappled as well. So, there you go. Mind Flayer 2 goes in, and it's going to also attack you with its tentacles. And somehow it misses you.
Blanked off the armor.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, and then number 3 is still unable to move. Grace, what do you do?
I'm going to Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to... This one's trying to mind fuck her. Is it Mind Flayer 1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mind Flayer 2 is the one that's trying to eat her.
No, it's
Mind Flayer
1.
is trying to
One is the one that keeps on successfully grappling her.
Oh, sorry.
Mind Flayer 2 keeps on missing.
You kill Mind Flayer 1, I can kill the other 2. Like I have like 3 buffs on me right now. Or 2 buffs.
Yeah, 'cause I did all the hard work, excuse you. Right, so I'm going to shoot 2 Eldritch Blasts at it.
Okay.
I'm going to damage.
3 damage. 7 damage. Very nice.
Fun.
Would you like to make
I
an
think that-
Eldritch Blast sound?
Let me read my skills. I think that
What
might be.
sounds like.
I think he should make an Eldritch Blast sound.
Yeah. I was thinking...
You know, it has been confirmed that when he was doing the guy who played Obi-Wan Kenobi in the prequels had to be constantly reminded to not make whooshing sounds when he swung his lightsaber on set.
That's great. I watched the first Star Wars movie with my 2 boys last night, and it was a lot of fun.
Is there a way I can like de-stun myself? A save?
Yeah, you can wait until you're not
Save?
stunned.
A save I can throw?
No, you're stunned.
That's a paladin's downfall.
Carlos,
Dandy.
Saves that aren't strength-based, it's usually not good.
Fuck.
what's up?
Okay, let's try not to miss every attack this time.
Hold on. I'm supposed to be dealing +5 damage on Eldritch Blast because of my invocation.
You what?
Oh, Mind Flayer 1's supposed to be taking 10 more damage because of my Eldritch Blast. It's just not doing it.
Okay. So it's super...
Did you hear me that time?
Yeah, I heard you. So...
Oh, I typed it out anyway.
Got it. It is in. That's right, Euphoria. Pew, 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 pew. Eldritch Blast. Pew, 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 pew. Okay.
Eldritch Blast also hits.
All right. So there you go. And what are you doing, Carlos?
Eldritch Blasting Mind Flayer 2.
Miss.
Hey, I already hit it.
What are you talking about? I didn't
I
see.
rolled the attack to land on it, and I got it. But then when I rolled to actually do the damage, it's a
Excuse me.
That's fine.
Damn, right.
No, you didn't roll the damage. You rolled another attack. You got to do the damage over it.
I grabbed the wrong one, which
Yep.
is the actual attack one.
The one that's damaged.
Okay.
There you go. 5 of
To
damage.
cast of Eldritch Blast?
Sure.
Derp. I didn't know that.
I mean, if that's all you're doing.
Oh.
So Eldritch Blast gets 2 beams at level 5.
Oh, 2 beams at level 5? Okay, cool.
Okay.
There you go.
And they're rolled
And-
individually.
Aha!
And then
Mind
I
Flayer 2 is
unmute
unconscious.
Lavender At Mind Flayer 1.
You do what at Mind Flayer 1?
Unmute him. Use your magical skills with the chairs to throw him in reverse.
Okay.
Womp.
And you
He
miss.
missed again. Damn you, Ravender.
Necron, what do you do?
Necron is going to. Which one of those mind flares looks the weakest right now?
I mean,
Paralyzed.
they both look fairly
three's
equal,
paralyzed
but
from my attack one.
number 3 is paralyzed. Number 1 is grappling Meredith.
All right, I'm going to. Let me see if this works the way.
Number 1 is also the closest to you. To avoid an attack of opportunity, you would actually have to go around Carlos behind to attack Mind Flayer 3, but you do have. That's the one you paralyzed. So, is paralyze a concentration spell, by the way?
No, actually, I'm not going to do that. The one that keeps grappling her, I'm going to cast Ray of Enfeeblement, which will make all attacks do half damage, and all strength checks half as well.
Okay.
So, let's see. It's one that keeps doing it to her, right? That keeps grappling her.
And Grace is asking if dying is unconscious or dead. So it is unconscious right now. You guys could technically revive something that's dying. It would have to fully die otherwise.
Mind Flare. So 3 is paralyzed, and 1 is now at half strength.
Okay, so you did both of them?
Well, I can only cast Ray of Enfeeblement once.
Okay, so
It hit the one that Mind Flare 1, the one that kept grappling her.
Okay, cool.
I made it weak.
I'm also stunned. So.
That's a different problem. I
Yeah.
solved one of your problems.
Stunned.
There you go. So Patrick goes, and your advantage has expired, and so he's going to. Let's see here. I think he'll try and. Why not? He loves this whole Crown of Madness thing, so he's going to try it on Mind Flayer 1 again. And it doesn't work. It's like, God damn it! right back to steering the ship.
I had Tasha's Hideous Laughter succeed 2 out of the 9 times I cast it in a campaign.
All right.
And it's not even a super easy to save spell. It just failed every time.
Yeah, just
Wait,
didn't
you
work
cast it
out.
9 times? I thought we had like some kind of spell slide.
No, I was playing in a different game. Over the course of the months we played the game, I cast the spell about 9 times, and it only succeeded twice. And the DM was like, I am so sorry, man. I know you want that spell to work. And I'm like, don't let it work if I didn't earn it.
Let's see here. It's going to try and do a Mind Blast. So I think based on that, it's going to... What's... Like, logically, Mind Flayer 1, they don't have healing ability, which is unfortunate for them. This guy's hopelessly outmatched. Man, it's probably gonna try and tentacle this.
What's their wisdom score?
Let's see here. They got 17 wisdom.
If they really thought we were going to kill them and there was no escape, they might surrender.
Yeah, honestly,
that's up to you, but I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah, I guess let me do a wisdom check to see if that's what they would try and do here.
They aren't aware that we're about to leave the fucking solar system.
Yeah.
So they're still thinking, oh, we'll just stay connected to the hive mind. And my character would think of this because my character's smarter than I am. So if I think about it, I figure he would think about it.
Yeah. So my player 3, I think, would probably suggest that they would surrender after seeing this go down. You guys have taken almost no damage whatsoever.
And they're either crippled or hurt.
Yeah, so I think that logically, Mind Flayer 1 and 3, since they are hive mind, would at the same time come to the conclusion that they should just remain spies and surrendered and stop fighting. So they raise their hands and tentacles up in the air like they just don't care, and they go, "Oh, we're sorry."
Does that mean I'm clear?
I mean, you're relatively
Ungrappled.
clear.
Can I
so
attack too? Can I just kill too? Just to.
I'm gonna walk up and I'm gonna tap her on the shoulder and pull her back for just a moment. Sweetie, we need one for the information and one for the example. We can put the other one outside, all right?
Fine.
I mean, they're dead, so put the dot down now.
go ahead and do
Throw him back on
a
the ground. Just leave him in the airlock and we'll watch him out.
Necron. Do a stealth check, please.
Can we toss them an ice?
A stealth check. I want to see how good a whisperer you are. Because you're right in fucking front of them.
Sorry, let me do that again.
Armor stealth.
Okay, I don't know why it keeps doubling it.
It's okay. You had a 20 in the
Oh, it
midst
says
there.
you're.
It's because of the armor you have.
It's because we're still fighting. We're not out of fighting, so it's.
Well-
Oh, that's right. I guess I have armor that. Okay.
Gives you a disadvantage, but in this case, it's
Wait, shouldn't it be
not
disadvantage
that
to
kind of stealth. It's your actual whisperness. So, what's the normal stat that backs stealth?
Intelligent. No, wait.
Well, this would be
Dexterity.
Can I do it with a wisdom check? I mean, that's my specialty, and he knows how to talk quietly.
I mean, sure. It honestly would probably be a charisma like performance.
Yeah, it should be a charisma check.
My charisma's +3.
Okay, cool. You're good.
Natural 20.
You were able to whisper to
20 total.
Meredith your evil plan right in front of them, but they didn't hear it
20.
because they were very occupied.
I was like, "We're gonna kill them all. Don't worry about it."
Hey, nice to see you guys. Sorry about all the killing. All right, so I think we should have them decide who gets to live with a knife, is what Grace says. Okay.
All right.
Amusing but impractical.
The one with the lowest health.
Okay, so they've surrendered. What do you guys want to do?
We're gonna knife.
Do you guys want to argue about knifing them? Because I'm not on board with it. Not because it's cruel, but because I think it's just a bad idea. If they're surrendering, we should try to play along.
Here's what we're going to do.
All right.
You're going to leave the airlock area one at a time and enter the cell. Every time one of you has entered the cell, the next person may leave this area and go to a different cell. And, the plan here, of course, is to blow the airlock once the second person is in their cell.
Yes.
Close the hatch and blow the airlock.
Only one of them can leave. One of them can't even stand. So.
Yeah.
Well, it only lasts for a minute, so eventually he'll be able to move.
Yeah.
But we'll have
Cyrus
apprehended.
ushers them along, and as he does, he acts like some kind of tour guide presenting them to a 5-star hotel. Here's your room.
Yeah, just leave the paralyzed one in there, and we'll just,
Okay.
face him.
So you
And
take.
Meredith, since they're
It
evil,
has lovely
we're totally
accommodations.
okay with killing
Well,
them.
you have an unconscious one and you have a paralyzed one. Those are your two options in here.
So, I'll
So-
release the paralyzed one, and we'll leave the unconscious one.
Okay. So, all right. So you guys put Mind Flare 1 in. Which button do you push, Carlos, on the holding
Push
cell?
the blue button. Or sorry, push the red button.
Okay. Cool. that would have ended very differently
Alright,
otherwise.
push the red button.
And then cool. So then Mind Flayer 3 is still paralyzed there. Who wants to guide Mind Flayer 3?
I
Runs
will.
back over.
Okay.
I'll just sling him over my shoulder.
Okay. Take him where you want to put him. Any spot along an
That'd be
open
weird
wall
because you're a
can
dwarf.
be used as a cell in this ship.
Let's put him over here.
Okay.
I can't move him.
There you go. All right. So those
And then
guys.
I'll just very casually walk over to Patrick and be like, seal the airlock and blow the exterior.
It's like, oi! I don't have a button for that over here.
Didn't we?
I walk over to the.
I know the button to blow the exterior. He knows the button to seal the airlock.
Okay.
I close the inner door.
Okay. Inner door is
I
closed.
open the outer door.
All right. You open the outer door and.
Wait. Let's go to space. Don't open the
We're in
outer door
space.
until we're in. Oh, we're in space. Okay.
Yeah. We're at least very, very high up. So.
Okay, let's go ahead and go to the space station first, and then yeet him into space. I don't want them finding the corpse.
I don't want him landing
Okay.
on the space station though.
What if he lands on the space station? He's gonna be dead.
We're just choosing to kill him somewhere else so they don't feel his severance from the mortal coil.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna be dead.
Yeah, they'll only know that he's gone, not that he's dead. There's a difference.
But
All right, so Patrick, take us to the space station. That cartridge.
I'm sitting there grumbling. Mind flick.
Okay. So,
Kill him.
Patrick's like, okay, here we go. Puts it in, pushes the button, and all right, and you see the
Probability drive.
yeah, you see the space station in front of you guys, and everyone roll Constitution.
What? We've never had to make a Constitution save before.
Well, now we do.
oh,
That's
19.
20.
14.
Not bad.
I don't get it.
Okay. What about Grace?
got it.
All right, you're all fine. Okay, so there you
The
go.
button to
Space
open
travel?
the pig's mouth.
What?
Open the pig's mouth. We're at the space station.
Okay. Yoga, open up the pig's mouth and watch as Mind Flayer 2 is sucked out violently into space.
Excellent. Okay, so the real question is, which one do we mutilate and which one do we ask questions of?
Hey, can I use mine to like get a pair that I have an Illithid head to like telling us?
My character who
And then we
has
can
not a
work-
scratch on him says, well,
Yeah.
I've pooped. I vote we take a rest first.
I don't want them doing anything.
I just
You're in
go.
stasis. Look at that red stasis button.
Fine. Oh,
Fine. What is this stasis bullshit? Right? Like, it's got to be really weird for all these time traveling folks to get used to all this bullshit.
On rest.
Sure.
Hey, I am not going to die interrogating a mind flayer.
All right. Is everyone going to sleep at the same time?
I mean,
You guys want to take shifts?
you haven't used a spell slot or taken damage. So I think you should stay watch.
Fine. He sits in a rocking chair by the two mind flayers.
The rest of us have used spells and taken.
I think I did use a spell, didn't I?
Yeah, you used both your spell slots. I thought.
I did.
Wait, didn't you? Wait,
Oh,
no.
No, I've been
No,
using,
that
Eldritch
was
Blast,
Grace.
not spell.
Grace used all spell slots.
I used mage armor, so I do
Alright.
have one spell slot down.
Just tell me the watch order, guys. What's the watch order?
I go first.
Necron will go last.
Okay, Meredith. Second or third?
I'll go second.
Go third.
Okay.
We can sleep in 2 shifts. I mean, we don't need to do 4.
All right.
Well, wait, shouldn't someone watch Meredith? Because, you know, she's gonna want to fucking kill them, right?
What is she? We're interrogating them by
I mean,
torture.
it depends on whether or not you want to follow the plan.
Torture interrogation.
I mean,
Which
she'll
one
want to
is
kill
that?
one. Maybe she'll want to
just
kill
killed
one
one.
of them.
We just
Did you not
killed.
just kill one?
Want a knife to
Oh, you killed one. Okay.
the
never
thing?
You're good.
Alright.
Your
I'm
blood
still
looks
upset.
good.
No, Necron's not worried. If you need another one, you can just go scoop another up. They seem pretty easy to capture.
All right. So you guys are gonna do 2 shifts. So each of you roll wisdom.
Hmm. Not my best roll.
Oh, fuck.
Ah,
I'm fucked. I usually have high wisdom. Fuck me.
Oh god, they just got healed.
Okay. So Necron, you were on last shift. Grace, you were on first shift, right? First watch or last watch?
I was first draw.
We did it in 2, so me and Necron went.
Okay. So Meredith and Carlos hung out during the
Passed out.
beginning. Let me see how I did on watch. Why am I rolling Constitution? Come on.
Actually, here's an idea.
What?
We could get the dead body that was sucked into space, cut it up, and then show it to one of them and say, this is what we'll do to you as we do to your friend. Then we have 2 people we can torture. So if one's not
We
working
can
out, we
torture.
can use the other.
Cut them up. We can just knife them a couple of times and just prove our point.
So
What I'm saying is we don't need to make an example of one because we already made an example of one, and we can make it worse if we want to. We can, cut up the corpse and make it look like we tortured it.
all right, so while you guys are resting outside the station, both Patrick and Grace notice that there seems to be activity inside the station. There are some probes that are sent out to investigate the ship while you guys are resting, but no one attacks the ship. There's just little probes are floating around the ship and investigating. So just be advised. Yeah, that's right, Heavy Bob. Investigate 311. How are you doing, Bob?
Maybe not be near the space station. Do we have a way to manually fly this thing to another planet? Maybe a moon with nobody on it.
Patrick's like, oh, sorry to say, nope. We can go in general directions, though. I can push the little flyy buttons like I did down on the planet, but it doesn't go very fast. It seems like all we can do is put cartridges in.
My character suggests that we swoop up to the one we threw out the airlock, scoop it up with our pig mouth, and then fly north for a few light years, and then start interrogating as we're moving.
Okay, to be clear, it took like probably 20 minutes to get the 50 kilometers that it took to get out of atmosphere before in the regular flight mode. Also,
Whatever. My point is, scoop up the dead Illithid. Start
it's been 8
traveling, and
hours.
while we're traveling, start interrogating.
It's been 8 hours. You guys have the general trajectory of the Illithid, but 8 hours at the velocity that it was yeeted out is how
Let's
far
not
it
worry
has
about
now
it.
traveled. So
I do not want to
Okay.
hunt for a dead body. That sounds
yeah,
pointless. We can make one.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Speaking of, can you get rid of the one that's on the map? Mind Flayer 2.
is he on the map?
Sorry.
All right, watch him float away. Whee. There you go. Okay, so
Kindly.
Mind Flayer 2, for clarity, Flare 3 and 1 are like in the wall here. And then let's see.
Okay. So the plan is start moving and interrogate as we travel?
Yeah.
Anyone, Vito, better suggestions?
So what are you up to, Heavy Bob?
Yeah.
Having a good day?
I say we take the first one, remove half of his tentacles, and then throw them in a cell together. Then later, serve them dinner. Fried calamari.
Oh.
That's Elvish for fried squid.
Elvis.
That'd be so
I
gross.
thought we just get the information and then put them out.
Oh, we have to convince them to talk first. Talking about the convincing part.
I vote. We take one out, start cutting off tentacles while interrogating it.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
This way the first one might talk and we can corroborate with the second one.
Exactly.
I like it. Yes.
Okay. So, what's the plan?
That's it. We're going to take one of them. We'll say just Illithid 1 here, and chain him up and start questioning him.
Okay.
I'm kind of just sitting. Is there interrogation room? Is that what's going on?
If the ship has an interrogation room, does the ship have an
Interrogation room
interrogation
is the
room?
kitchen.
It has a fridge and the kitchen, and then.
All right. Well, let's do it in the kitchen. I like the thought of torturing where we eat.
Okay.
Fair point. Counterpoint. There are dead bodies in the fridge.
Oh,
Okay.
you can do the torturing
Can we-
there.
Can you? I asked Necron. Can you pull out a silver table and then I ask Carlos. Can you get a chair? And I'll haul him over and put him to the chair while you cook his delicious lunch.
Carlos skips over to the chairs and starts trying to figure out which chair is ideal for torturing.
You know, I'm not saying don't go too far, but if you did, we do have a way to talk to the dead.
Carlos,
I'm just saying you can cook him a delicious lunch that he can watch you make. So, because this is the one that tried to eat me. So let's go walk him over to the table.
Oh, you're
Put it like in that corner over by the sink and the kind of middle island. Put it like in that area.
You know, when we're doing terrible things to bad people, you're a much more entertaining person to be around.
As long as they're bad
as long
people.
as the bad person.
Yeah.
I'm
You
guessing
can do
I have
bad
roll
things to
luck
bad people, and it's
situation.
okay as a paladin.
10's not bad, but
For
it's
what?
good.
Table, and then here's.
I'm trying to figure what kind of chairs I have at my disposal. I'm guessing there isn't one that's, quote, perfect for torture. Like, I probably didn't find a chair with, like, straps and stuff on it while I was, in Christmas Land. No?
Can you move the mind flare to that weird teardrop shape? I kind of haul him over, and then I like.
Teardrop shape. Which one's a teardrop?
It's the one over by the oddly shaped circle, which is the aluminum table I pulled out from.
All right,
underneath.
there you go.
Okay, so Carlos goes
Unfortunately,
with a
Grace,
rusty wooden chair.
Uh,
With the logic being
on-
that we
on
can
the-
nail his arms to it if we...
no, the teardrop shape next to the weird circle.
Well, he's
On
on
the
the table right now.
Yeah, he's on the table. There
We
we
do
go.
not sit on tables.
We do
He
not sit
violently throws the mind flare into the wooden chair. Tilted.
And I kind of like am standing next to him on the side so he can't have like an escape route. And I'm kind of just sitting there.
Sitting on tables when there's all of these chairs begging for butts.
Thank you, Carlos, for the lovely chair. Perfect.
So rude.
All right.
All right, so what rolls do we make to question this first Illithid?
I mean, it depends upon what kind of questions you're asking, really.
Who knows how to make his special lunch?
Like, mostly you're talking persuasion. You're trying to persuade him to tell you information, right?
Yeah.
And intimidation? Can we do intimidation check?
Yeah, you can intimidate him if he's not responding.
I'll try persuasion first to see if that works.
Carlos takes a steak knife or whatever that's in the kitchen and decides he doesn't want the Illithid running off, so he stabs it through his arm and into the chair to make sure.
God damn it. Okay. Okay.
Well,
Persuasion.
Okay, persuasion. Oh, perfect. Tell us where the what's it called again? It's the big brain or whatever.
This sounds like what she would actually be saying. You know, the whatever it is, the big brain or whatever.
I whisper in her ear, the big brain.
Oh, tell us where the big brain is located in that city. In the pig city.
Unceremoniously, I just walk over to him and slice off one of his mouth face tentacles with my ceremonial dagger.
Oh, out of character. Are you Hannibaling this?
Am I what?
Are you Hannibaling this? Are you gonna make him eat his own fucking shit?
I was considering it, but I hadn't gotten there yet. I was thinking of waiting. I was thinking of cooking it and then reanimating it and making it move and then making him eat it.
Oh, I love that better.
Anyway.
I'm just like super excited. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And I'll smack him in the face with the tentacle. Ask another question. Start with something a little easier.
Do I have to do persuasion again?
Grace saying we should push his face in a frying pan.
Like, why are the Illithids occupying our planet?
Why are the Illithids occupying our planet?
Here's the real question. Why do we have Meredith doing the interrogation?
She has the highest intimidation. I could probably...
But she's not... Is she intimidating?
No, I'm persuading. I persuaded him with 23, but he didn't give me anything for some reason.
Yeah, well, he countered. I roll for them, too.
Roll intimidate.
Okay, so...
Oh, wait. I have an idea.
Fuck,
I want to use my
work.
religion to try to trick him.
Tell me where the big brain is.
All right. So... Let's see. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Let's see how good I roll, though.
Okay.
I think you may have noticed you can't feel your little collective anymore. There's a reason for that.
Ooh.
You've been chosen to a higher calling.
I kind of look at him like, you are not fucking doing this right now. Like, just
I hold up a bloody knife
Just
and I want to cut down my arm. The goddess rewards all the things you think are terrible. This horribleness and loneliness you're feeling now can be healed by her embrace. And then I'll quote some religious dialect or some shit.
Okay.
18. Oh!
What were you even saying, Carlos?
I was seeing how Carlos feels about his speech.
Okay. So...
Oh, like you're behind me going, yeah, hail the goddess, praise L'Oreal.
Okay, so as you say that that he's alone and disconnected, before you even start cutting yourself and going into the jargon, he just starts laughing. And he's just, oh, you fool! Oh, if only I was disconnected. But they know.
I'll put the knife in his face. What do they know?
Well, everything I know.
How is it you're still talking to them? Your brain magic doesn't work this far.
Oh, we're not so far as you thought.
Yeah. Shit. What's the other cartridge? Put in the other cartridge.
Wait, no. I go over to Patrick. Patrick, is there any way you can see what's inside the station right now?
I mean, like, there's a door we could go in.
Oh shit, the brain's on the fucking station.
It's fucking on the station. Are you fucking kidding me?
Patrick, get us out of here now.
Why are we surprised?
Why would you put the
Because-
brain?
How are they controlling that many mind flayers from the planet if it's on the station? Is why we're surprised.
Yeah,
Said how far
this
the station
station's
was from the-
super fucking far.
Do you want to argue about it while we're possibly in front of death, or do you want to argue about it when we're safe?
When we're safe. Patrick, take us
Well-
out of here.
Take us to Christmas Land.
Christmas Land, here we come.
What is the farthest destination?
Patrick takes out the cartridge to the Christmas arena, and
Wait, orbit. Don't go in. Orbit.
that's not a choice.
Christmas Land.
That's not a
Fuck.
choice.
Okay, Patrick, when we get there, you are going to automatically lift off and go into orbit. Do you understand?
Copy, ma'am.
Thank
At your service, Patrick Thomas Wagon, best engineer ever. Don't even know what engineer means. I just like the way it sounds off me tongue.
Talk. I just need it done. Thank you, sweetie.
Okay, everyone roll Constitution, please. And
Wow. Never had it.
okay, Necron, you shit yourself just a little bit. So did you, Carlos. You're
7
fine,
and
Meredith.
9 are both small amounts of shit. That is not a lot of variance.
No, he doesn't like smelling bad. He's gonna go and clean that up.
Yeah, just a little.
And he won't be shy about it though. He's like, what the fuck happened? I just shit myself. And not the normal kind from being
Wait.
sick or drinking too much.
Out of character, Gandy, why did you add the whole shit flies?
Because
I agree.
you guys have been traveling a lot, and it's starting to affect you guys. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, I was just wondering.
What Debs?
No worries. Yeah, it's
Carlos, switch his pants. Lickety split.
yeah, just a little bit of poop.
Where he has like 3 pants.
Ne-
in his various
Necron
pockets.
7 got him just a little bit more poop than your 9. Okay, that's the
He had to
difference.
change his whole pants.
Yours is
Do
just
we even
peeking.
have a washing machine?
I mean, I don't know.
We have a sink.
Yeah, you have a
mage.
you have a sink. You have mages. I mean, like you're pretty solid.
Mage's prestidigitation is it's a cantrip. You just boop, not smelly. Boop,
Poop,
you're clean.
poop.
Does it de-poop the poop?
It technically would remove a stain, but not an actual chunk of feces.
Yeah, you got to take the chunk off.
So let's say
Throw the
Necron will
pants
go
out
dump.
the airlock.
He'll dump out his pants and then prestidigitation, and bam, it's clean.
You just got the garbage disposal. You know. Yeah.
Carlos isn't okay with that. He
That-
sits
that-
in chairs with these pants, damn it.
That
Chairs!
spell would actually fix most of the conveniences we use for technology are fixed with that spell.
Okay, so
Throw the pants in the airlock.
all right, you guys get over to the arena area, and then Patrick starts taking the oinking ship up. It's just flapping its wings, and then for the first time, Mind Flayer 1 actually does start to look somewhat disconcerted. He's starting to behave more erratically, and you can tell that he's actually noticing the pain that he's in from that cut off tentacle.
I'm gonna
Thank
throw the
you,
tentacle in a
Patrick.
pan, add a little bit of fat to it, and turn on the heat.
I grin at Patrick and say, thank you. And I turn back and go, now, where was I?
This is gonna
Carlos
be
starts
good.
twisting the knife.
Do we have any tubers?
Can you answer that question that I asked you before now?
Roll.
Roll intimidate.
Oh, please be good, please be good, please be good.
Give a bonus
Right.
for cooking part of his body. I mean, I'd appreciate one anyway.
Fuck, can I do a bonus roll for
Advantage.
Carlos? Can you give
No,
yeah,
it already has the advantage.
No, Carlos, your bonus roll, Carlos.
Oh, my bonus roll? Oh no, it only works on
No,
one.
it only works on once.
Fuck.
Yeah, he's like, you can't get it from me. Ah!
All right,
I'll try
I'm gonna
again.
come back and try my religious technique again.
Okay.
The goddess offers true release from your suffering. I promise. Religious blah 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 blah.
Oh. Does he?
It's like, oh, wow, he rolled high, but just low enough to be like, oh, just explain it to me. How does it work?
Very simple. You agree to pray to the goddess, and you are restored to full health and glory. But you also have to tell me what I need to know first.
You promised not to kill me!
I give you my word as a
I have my
cleric
hand-
of the
I-
goddess Lovitar.
I have one of
I
my
will
hands
not
on
end
the
your
arm
life.
of the chair, and I have one of my hands on the back of the chair as he's saying this. And I'm kind of crouching.
Now, why are there
That
Illithids
face
on
you
my
made there.
planets? And where is the big brain?
I mean,
You don't answer me. I'll use your corpse to scare your friend into answering me.
there's more than one big brain, you fool! They're all over!
Oh my god, they formed their own hive.
Are you saying that the big brains are, they themselves are a hive? And then those
Big
brains themselves have
brains.
created. Oh, fucking network.
Carlos asks, how many?
There's at least 6!
Where's the biggest brain?
I mean, they're all about the same size. I don't know how big they are, really. They just think at me, okay? That's what they do. There was one in that station, and there was another down on the planet. I haven't really met any of the other ones, but they're after this ship.
Why?
We know where 2 are.
Something about green goo or shit. I don't know. It was kind of a jumble. They didn't really want us all to know about it.
Wait, this ship that we're on, this ship puts people into stasis and takes them out, and it makes things out of nothing. Maybe they're trying to make some type of super brain.
No, they could give a fuck less about that. They just want the green goo.
Are they willing to pay for it?
No, wait, that could let us breathe in space.
They want to take it. They consider it theirs. They've been
Well, why don't we
chasing
just
you
give it to them?
bastards for thousands of years.
What does the green goo do for us, though? Like, no, really, what does the green goo do for us?
It coated us, and like synchronized with our skin, and it lets us breathe out in space. That's what it did for us.
If you remember,
Yeah,
you guys were
it allows you to
able
breathe
to
in
use it. You haven't encountered it on this ship at all.
No.
It was used.
None of us have.
It was on the previous ship.
Shellwood.
It was on the
Well,
parent
let's
ship.
give them the green goo. I haven't used it yet.
It's not on this ship. The only person who has it is Rex. And she's in stasis, and she's not coming out of stasis. So you're fucked.
Well then.
So the question is, have anyone in this party actually encountered this green goo?
Nope. Only Rex.
Nope.
So literally you're being
my character.
Shell's dead, so the green goo would have.
what?
What's
Well,
my
no, I'm saying if
knows
you
about it?
use speak to dead or whatever.
Yeah, but your Illithid's not around.
No, but you're saying
Necron.
only Rex, and I'm like, well, technically.
Was Necron on the planet?
No, like everyone in the party right now didn't actually experience the original ship. Not to that extent. Now, Meredith, you were. Hey, stop pinging me here. Please ping me in the other chat. It messes up the cameras. Just ping me in game chat. I don't. Unless you're having trouble in there, Grace. But I can't read.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You pinged me and said Gandora. So I was.
Oh, that was a while ago.
Okay, well.
That was 40 minutes ago. Like,
All right,
almost
well,
an hour.
the camera got messed up. Okay, so the yeah, the Illithid tells you guys that they're chasing after the ship because they're after that green goo, and that it's supposed to give them the ability to control larger populations of people, and that's why they want it.
Oh. Well, we can't have that.
No, we cannot.
Okay, well then. Are you hungry? I hold up his tentacle in front of him.
It's like, God, no!
Oh, very well then. Puts it on a plate. I guess I'll eat that later. Very rude of you. So I'm not going to kill you. I gave my word. Meredith, do whatever you think is appropriate. I'll just walk away.
With pleasure. How can I bash his head into the table repeatedly, over and over and over again?
Well, I mean, you can
just
start
cut his head
combat
off
with him.
your sword?
He's-
I mean,
Yeah,
I
go
don't
ahead.
have a sword. I have a
Does your
hammer. I can
character
smash
feel
his
no
head.
honor to someone else's promise?
What?
no, Necron was very specific in his wording. He said, I promised I will end end your life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just wondering how Meredith as a
However,
character feels about this
Meredith-
distinction.
Meredith never promised anything, and Necron never promised harm wouldn't come to him.
Also,
Necron only
also
promised
he's
that he
evil.
personally would not murder
He's
him.
evil.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
he's-
and
Fair enough.
I am totally willing to break my word.
Yeah.
That's not... Lovitar is nothing against lying.
What about Horforia and Nuclear Fire? All right, so you can start combat with him if you want, Meredith. Just be advised that he came out fully healed from the wall.
You could just put him back. Torture him later.
Yeah, but then later he'll be.
Party favor.
Just move him into the airlock.
What'd you say, Grace?
Keep him as a party favor. Later.
Can you type it out? Because you're cutting out super bad.
Yeah.
It sounds like your voice loops around and covers you up and then cancels out your sound.
Yeah.
It's fine. He just has bad network coverage. But yeah, type it out and we'll read it.
In the game.
I think he said we could keep him as a party favor.
No, not in the Discord. In the game, so Gandora doesn't get a ping.
Yeah, put it in the game chat. I don't want to have to keep clicking away.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so you got the guy there. You just promised him freedom from the hive mind and from imminent death. Necron. Meredith is
But
grappling
as he's
with the
walking away,
decision upon how to deal with it.
Before he's like, wait a minute. Do you really want to worship my goddess?
I kind of freeze and I kind of look at Necron like, seriously?
His hand's moving towards his cat of nine tails.
Yeah, he's like, sure, whatever, just come on.
Very well. He says, move him back to his cell and make sure he hits himself with this 100 times.
that grumpy face.
You can watch. As you do so, say, I do this in the name of the great goddess Lovitar. If she approves of your sacrifice, you will know.
Alright, he moves
Fine.
the knife from his arm so he can get out of the chair.
I grab the hand that was injured, so I reach over him, reach into the wound, and grab it that way.
His tentacles are on his face, FYI.
No, the knife in his hand. The
What?
one that was in his hand.
Oh.
So
right.
I reach into the wound, grab his hand that way. So instead of grabbing his hand, I just reach inside.
Jesus,
grab
you
it that
really
way.
hate Illithids.
I hate evil things. Yes. So I grab it that way and I pull his hand that way and I fucking drag his ass out of the chair, back to the chamber.
Okay.
I thought my character hated Lithids after
And
having
as I pass
compared to
Necron,
Rex.
as I pass Necron, I grab the catatan the cat.
Cat of nine tails.
Cat of
I
all
can't-
tails.
I heard my voice over again, but I grab it and kind of just like, and then I walk him over to the thing, toss him in there, and then throw the fucking thing at him, and then put him, and then close the door, and then I walk away.
Holding the sign of his goddess, and he's like, he's like, sometimes you don't even need to cause the pain yourself. The internal pain makes them cause the external pain.
I'm just like,
I push the
And
blue
then I
button and sit in the rocking chair and listen to him maybe or maybe not whipping himself.
Well, which button
I'll
did
be
you push
right
when you
back,
put him
Carl.
in? Red or
I
blue?
push the blue button.
Okay. So sure,
Right, you're whipping.
sure. He's in there whipping himself.
I'm gonna go wash my hands.
What I want us to do is take the other Illithid out and march him in front of the guy's cell point and said, "He wasn't very cooperative at first," and then slowly walk him to the chamber,
Just walk him back.
the kitchen. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, the kitchen?
Oh, it's right there too.
Wait, so you took Mind Flayer 1 and you put him in the wall. He's in there whipping himself, and you can hear him screaming in pain as he whips himself. And then you're saying you want to pull out Mind Flayer 3 from the wall and do what?
Mind Flayer 1 whipping himself and whisper,
reach
"He
in,
wasn't
grab
very
him,
cooperative."
and drag him, and come over.
Okay.
Drag him over.
Wouldn't they be able to connect to each other's minds?
I'm not
mere
entirely
proxim-
sure about that, so you make a call on that one.
Let's see
I
here.
feel like if it's like the internet, they shouldn't be able to unless they're near the brains, but
Let's see here.
I think they can send messages to each other through the message ability if they chose to.
Yeah. I think.
Okay, out of
All right,
character,
so
if that is the case that they can connect, you can give him a cat of nine tails and they can hurt twice as much. Just
that's a
saying.
good point. If they
copy,
connect,
Grace.
then the pain should connect too.
It's not that's not
Yeah,
how
he
the
is pretty
hive mind
evil.
works.
So,
Oh.
so I think that even if they were to send messages to each other, ultimately Mind Flayer 1 would send a message to Mind Flayer 3 saying that they were fucked. And basically,
Broke that guy.
yeah, so they're basically, he's just like that. We're too
Repeating-
far away. I had to
repeating
give him
God's
everything.
blessing over and over
We're
again.
fucked, right? That's what Mind Flayer 3 would get. And so I imagine the moment he got that message, he would go from being all proud and hoity-toity to suddenly being like, oh fuck, because now if the whole plan has been given away and Flayer 1 let him know, then honestly they probably can't even return to the hive. Because if they do, I imagine if you had people in your hive that were willing to turn on you when you left, you would just kill them. So.
Mm-hmm.
We have new roommates.
Two Illithids. That one's
Nuclear Fest says Necron is an evil motherfucker I like, but mine will
Wait.
make Necron look like a Boy Scout.
I drive. Do you want me to? I go, hey Necron. Do
Necron's
you want
not
me
the
to?
evilest character I've ever played.
I go, hey Necron. Do you want this one over at the table too, or do you want me to
Oh.
throw him back?
Let's bring him over to the table, but don't start mutilating this one yet. I want to see what he says before.
All right. So we
Or
drag
swaps out the
three.
wooden chair with Ravender because he feels like his lovely squid chair would be the perfect irony.
Okay. All right. So what are you guys gonna say to this guy, huh?
I'd like to ask him a question.
Okay.
Do you have a name?
He goes.
Well, I want to ask you another question. Do you
Okay.
think I'm lying when I say I will severely torture you and break your psyche if you don't answer my questions?
Well, nope. I don't really doubt you. Based on my comrades' communication so far, I believe I could be cooperative. Yep.
Very good. You may not be aware of this, but I'm pretty sure I know the truth already. So if you repeat to me the truth, I will let you live. Why did you take over my planet? And what's going on with all the brains?
Something about green goo and you guys having it or something like that. And yeah, there's a bunch of
Yeah.
brains, and they all want your ship. That seems to be the word on the street.
They're
As
very dedicated to it, huh?
what?
Yes, they're very dedicated to finding this green goo.
Yeah, well, world domination turned into galaxy domination, and
We
the
don't have
reproductive
any.
cycle of the brains is like something like 100 years, and you don't want to see that shit. It's you think I'm weird. Watching two brains going at it, that's just some weird shit. And then, yeah. Just saying. What, you've never seen two brains mount each other?
I think. Like, I don't know. I don't think we can send you back to the collective. I don't know, though. If we did, they might know that we don't have any green goo.
Well,
I'm gonna need to put you back into the cell to decide what to do with you.
Okay.
In the meantime, we can't leave the orbit of this planet. Because if we head back...
How many brains are there, and where are they?
It's like this.
Yes, how many brains are there, and where are they?
I mean, there's 6 in this cluster. One
on the space station.
Yep, there's one on the space station, and then there's one on the planet. At least. I don't know how many are there. And honestly, I've only really encountered 3 of them. There's the main base. I think you guys were there recently. That has one. They keep one in proximity of every major structure that they have. I just know that if I get back in proximity, that they will kill me.
Oh.
Tell me about all of the major structures they have.
They don't really tell me everything. Just because I'm a hive mind doesn't mean that we can't keep secrets.
That's true. Because this type of thing is expected.
So, I know of those 3 places. There's a brain on the main station, which recently captured you. I was stationed there, Lieutenant First Class. I did a really good job. It was pretty good. I pushed this button. There was a button that I pushed on a pretty regular basis. I don't actually know what it did. In fact, it may have done nothing. That's kind of the thing that they might do to a Lieutenant First Class. But I like to think that it was an important job. So, and then I was stationed on the planet. And here we are. So, yep.
Does anyone else have any questions for over here?
How do I spell that name?
Well, it's a capital.
The capital whoop.
And then
well,
Grace
we
wants
don't
him
we
to
don't
become
really
part of
have
a big
much
religion.
need for writing in our culture. Kind of becomes superfluous when you can send mental messages to each other.
Carlos goes,
Grim Reaper was
the
more
Kickstarter's going
tamed
to
when
suck.
OG is very
Throws up his
uncomfortable to
arms in
play.
disgust.
That's because it's supposed to. Okay. Man, you play so much RimWorld Nuclear Fire. Trooper asked if the button had flush written on it. Now, all the buttons in this universe so far are just various different colors with mysterious functions that even I don't know what they do before you push them usually.
before we hit the stun button when putting him back into his cell, go, which one of these kills again?
I don't know. Just push one of them. Oh,
The red one. No, wait. Blue one.
cool. So, any other question for
I can't think of anything right now. Let's put him away and we can decide how we're going to take down our first big brain.
I nominate the space station one.
Unless our paladin here has an objection to murdering possibly hundreds of Illithids. You frozen, Rex? I can't... Oh, there we go. We could take out a big brain and take down a whole bunch of them at once.
Yes.
Does it have a flush mod, Nuclear
Should we
Fire?
test with the station first? And see if we can even take
Oh,
one
yes.
So-
I say, next week, we go on that station and see what types of brains we can...
I say we take out the station.
She's just sitting there repeating. All right, so you take the Illithid, you put him back in stasis. The other one is still flatulating and sobbing in Mind Flare.
I'll tell him. I'm gonna come back and be like, open this cell. The goddess approves. Ask for my whip back.
Okay, he gives it back to you. He's crying and covered in his own blood.
Very nice. Your pain is quite authentic.
He gives you a really depressed thumbs up.
Blue button
Yes,
and then red button.
What?
Walk over.
Blue button and then what?
And then red. What does red button do?
Red
But
button
passes
just
them out.
stasis.
Red button puts him in stasis without the ability to leave at will.
It's generally what we
You
want
could
to
have
do.
poopers.
Yeah.
Nuclear Fire has a
have
mod to his game that lets you sew enemies' mouths and eyes shut, apparently.
Oh God, awesome.
Look at it this way: you could kill them, or you could torture them for the rest of your mortal life whenever you feel like it. They're just in the closet waiting for you to torture them.
There you go. As far as they're concerned,
I don't know if a paladin
over a
could be
short
torture
span.
pet.
I mean, yeah, probably not. It would have to be
Remember
for a reason.
At the end of the day, what paladins generally want to do is convert people over to their way of being. Basically, what I'm doing. Every
Yeah.
time Necron sees someone in distress, he tries to convert them over to his religion. To an extent, you should be looking to do that as a goal as well. Or simply killing anyone you disagree with.
Now, since you
So
worship
should
the
I-
goddess of war, you should be trying to convert them to, like, war for you, right? You're setting yourself up to be at war with a huge Illithid force. So Meredith would want to take advantage of these guys in a way that helps that effort, whether or not it's extracting the information. Like, a paladin would be willing to extract information from an evil source, however violently necessary, but ultimately it's for the intent of serving that purpose. All right, so Nuclear, what is favorite war crime? What's Nuclear Fire's favorite war crime to commit? Since you got the first one, Necron, may I have this one to worship me? It'd be great for my ego and my complexion. That's what he says.
Oh, very well. You can have the healthy one. The broken ones are always better for Lovitar anyway. You keep the whole one.
There you go. So, I guess the idea is you guys are floating up above the arena. They hailed you initially while you were going up, and Patrick just let them know it was you guys, and they're like, "Oh, cool, welcome back." So,
But we're not leaving orbit because we have to figure out how to keep them disconnected from the brain while we're there.
yeah. So,
I sit down at the table and then, like, what are we gonna do?
there you go,
We
miss.
want to start a war.
So you're gonna sit at the
Well,
cake
I
table or
see
the war
two
table?
options.
I'm saying the
We
one
could
with the
go
little
to
circles
Mind
on it is
Flayer's
the cake
base
table.
and blow it up, or we could go to the space station and maybe grab a couple more mind flayers to interrogate.
Remember, they said the space station has it has one of the hive minds. The main base where you guys were imprisoned has one, and
Yeah,
there's also one on the planet.
We should leave the Illithids on this planet, and then go to the space station. This is in my opinion. And
Should we just dump them like trash and have them just walk around? I would
what?
greatly just like have the ship hover like an alleyway and then kick them out the fucking front door and then just leave.
Well, it's a whole space station, so
Well, no, you guys
I thought it
are
was
you
a
guys are
planet.
over
Can't
top of
decide
the
the alleyway.
of a planet that has the arena on it.
I'm not sure why we wouldn't want to keep them on our spaceship. If we ever have questions for Illithids, we don't need to travel. We can just
Yeah, but
open
if
up
they
any
connect
cell
to
and
the
say,
hive
"Hey, I have a
mind-
question that I didn't ask earlier."
If we connect them to the hive mind though, they'll tell them everything they know about the ship. Like
That
what
said,
buttons
that
we
said,
press
in
to
state
activate
in
shit.
stasis, they can't connect. They actually remember when you guys go in there, you get pulled apart molecule by molecule.
Oh,
You
I
don't
see. They're like
actually
totally
exist
deconstructed.
when you're in stasis. So there's
if
no
they're even
way
on the
for them to
planet, there's
connect.
always the chance a mind flayer will actually find them and actually bring them into the brains. But if we
Yeah,
have them
or
in our
brain
stasis
Yeah.
ship, they're
And
safe.
out of character, I wanted to be clear that like what you guys discovered with the blue button, it creates a room. It's not stasis. All right. So with the blue button, you're able to actually create a space in which you can still be conscious inside there. But someone has to actually let you out by hitting the blue button again. And so that methodology there, to be clear, like if you leave them in there in that state, they're able to, like, they're conscious. They would then be able to connect to a hive mind if you were to go back in range. But either the green or the red mode puts you in stasis. Green just means that it keeps you like communicating with the ship, so at will you can leave. Like,
So it's like a sleep chamber if it's green?
Yeah, kind of. But it's the ship actually kind of keeps you in loop on what's going on. Kind of, you remember when you guys were in the simulation when it was recreating your bodies, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're essentially in a simulation while you're in green mode, so that if at any time you need to leave, you can just communicate that with the ship, right? So every time you guys go to sleep, you basically live out some kind of fantasy that you're having. And that's probably one of the reasons that most of you are more than willing to jump into the stasis matrix on the ship, because, well, it's probably pretty fun to just go live out your fantasy. Grace goes and repeatedly kills her parents, right? And then Meredith out on a crusade, Carlos and many chairs
on a galaxy bear, just fucking.
Yeah, there you go. And then you got Necron. I imagine you'd be torturing a lot of people. And
he'd be ruling over his planet of death that I told you about.
There you go. Yeah, just all your zombies.
Sitting on top of a throne of bones and corpses.
I'd probably visit from time to time.
Patrick would just be winning arguments repeatedly.
Just to start wars. I would just visit from time to time to just start wars and be like,
well, of
hey,
course.
what's up?
Wars keep the world strong.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's right.
So, and there's honorable deaths. So it's like we both win. Plus there's torture from stabbing.
You can even point out the pig planet was peaceful. And what happened to them? They got taken over. So,
So we need war. So, hey.
Carlos gets bored and takes a single piece of the tentacle you cooked off of your plate.
It's just sitting on a plate in the kitchen next. You know when you cook something and you leave it next to the stove and don't eat it? That's what this is.
Oh. Okay, he wanders over to it and takes it.
It's just not quite.
It was cooked in a frying pan in fat, so it probably tastes good.
There you go.
He goes, oh my god, you guys have to try this. He puts the plate on the table where everyone can reach it.
Hey Gomez, how you doing? What's your album? I hope it's a joke. Tell me your joke. Is it Selena Gomez 21? I don't know. What's your joke album? Selena Gomez in Twitch chat. They asked if we bought her new album. I'm hoping it's a joke. I'm hoping it's a joke. So how do we feel about the session today, guys? I feel like great job everyone connecting up the camera. I hope you guys liked it a little bit more. Watching, actually being able to see us all. What? No, I only like good music. Sorry, Selena. Oh, it's so mean. By the way, if any of you guys are new, don't forget to follow. If you're looking to support, be sure to subscribe. And I tried to make it so that that things were a little bit more focused on the storytelling element here. I pulled off some things on the overlay and tried to get rid of some of the sounds. I would say there was some echo. It got a little bit better as we went. I think we self-recognized where the echo was coming from. There was a problem where the camera kept on minimizing, which was a bit annoying. but we can figure out what was causing that. It seemed like it was coming from messages going into there, but it may be something else. I think for the tool that we're using, it turned out pretty all right. Any thoughts from you, Necron, on how things went tonight? Good,
I think
bad,
it went
ugly?
pretty well. It was a good session.
Okay. Carlos, what about you?
I can't tell if you're asking me or my character.
I'm just asking you, and it's just having 4 names for everyone is harder, so I'll just...
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Lunar.
Pretty good.
So, yeah, because I'm Gandora, not Patrick. I'm just playing Patrick in this thing. Then we've got
I
Troa,
almost got
who's
worried
playing
about a fight
Necron.
with the Illithids, but then you guys were like, they surrender. I'm like, oh, good.
Yeah. I mean, like, you guys could have very easily killed those guys. The question is, was it really necessary? And I think that since Illithids are really smart, it would make sense that they would choose to tactically withdraw. And
See, I don't mind suggesting it, 'cause, as a longtime player, I know we still get XP for defeating them, not for killing them.
yeah.
Oh, the reason I kept rolling charisma whenever your character gave that speech, by the way, was because my character is somewhat susceptible to that sort of persuasion. I was seeing how he felt about your speech.
Okay, gotcha. Just to see if you're like, oh,
Unintentionally convert one of the party members.
there you go.
It's like, what's your life like? It's great. Oh, wait, unless you don't like pain. It's really bad if you don't like pain.
And so, how about you, Meredith? How'd you feel tonight?
Felt great.
Awesome. It was definitely awesome having you guys on camera. I hope that was better for everyone who's watching. And Grace, I know you had some connection trouble. I'm really, really appreciate you being here, though. And I hope that at least the ability to use the text communication helped to make it tolerable. How did you feel about the session overall?
Just opened up my window. Usually you can see for a couple miles. Even on the camera, it's all fog.
Yeah, I can't see it because it's so dark. It did a bit more
I'm in Silent
arguing.
Hill, man.
That you enjoyed? Okay, yeah. I felt like we had a good balance of combat and non-combat type encounters this go. So that was one of the things. That's one of the things I've been trying to balance better so that we can get more role play while also, having some actual action as well. So the next episode will be in 2 weeks. There's not any weird holidays or anything that I'm January's not allowed to have holidays anyway. So on the 30th, we will continue this, and I guess you guys are going to choose your attack location. You guys decided you wanted to go to the station, right? Was that the consensus?
Oh, I don't know if we picked a place yet.
Okay, because I kind of need a general idea because there's a lot of work that's going to go into something like this. So
that's fair.
Hopefully next week we'll have the mic situation fixed.
Yeah. Or at a minimum, what we can do for Grace, if you still aren't able to reliably use the microphone, we can always just ask you and have you type it out. So if that works well, that's always an option. If the voice connection is bad enough, we can even have you getting the audio from the stream and just focusing on typing out your stuff and work with you there. Just whatever you think would work well for you, given your connectivity issues, more than happy to help. It's not a problem for us to try and support that. But yeah, no worries, Grace. I understand. And then, overall, I felt like it went really well. I'm enjoying being able to play a character myself in the game, but hopefully I'm not overwhelming anything. I'm essentially acting as like a helper who
I
has
think you're doing a great job.
information that you guys need, but not taking over any of the choices that you all make. More of an
I've
NPC.
never run a game without having an NPC, so what you're doing to me is perfectly normal.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think it helps to have someone that's in your midst that can help you. All right, and then Grace says, I just think that when it comes to what are you going to do with this plot point, we should each say what we want and go from there. Well, yeah, and that's what we're doing right now. So the question is, you know the location of 3 hive minds, right? And you've been to each of those locations to a certain extent. You have a large city, you have a small space station, and you have a medium-sized, basically, prison fortress.
I like this.
Grace wants to try and free the townspeople to get more people to help. Okay? And then what are your guys' thoughts on that? Trooper is number 1, apparently. And Trooper and Nuclear Fire, I know you guys were here for most of the session. Feel free to let us know what your all's thoughts are. Or if you had any suggestions for the group as to how they should resolve the problem.
Yeah, I mean, so far it seems like we're going to do is go after each brain individually until they're all gone.
Yeah. Even you, Selena Gomez, I may not have bought your new album, but I still would love to hear your role-playing advice.
Yeah, some role-playing information would be good. Or you can just try to sell us albums.
Yeah, I mean, it's all good either way.
At least it's a view. Thank you for visiting, Selena, even after I insulted your music.
Selena probably gone.
Why did you insult the music?
I said in chat, when said you bought my new album, I said, no, I only listen to good music. Sorry, Selena.
Why did you do this?
I don't know.
I was waiting for a response to see if they were a real person. It's a litmus test.
There's a tendency for bots to come in and just kind of advertise a product, and that what they'll do is they'll join every single stream and say something generally innocuous that leads people to do what we're doing right now and focus attention on that. And it's a very effective way to sell products. The cantrip lists, you're gonna look up your spell list for your character. So it'd be in
level 0 spells.
Yeah, library. Selena is like her music dead. Trooper. I mean, is a robot dead?
Oh.
That's the question.
I'm just, you can't. What are we gonna do? So if we keep the mind flayers under stasis and go back to the planet, they won't try to spill out information or anything.
So first, you're a warlock, right, Carlos?
Yes.
So you open up the warlock.
There's a ping.
And cantrips are the top. You've got Blade Ward, Chill Touch, Eldritch Blast, Friends. Did you open the D&D Player's Handbook?
Yes.
Okay. Then you go to spells. Okay. And for those of you curious, we're playing this in Fantasy Grounds. So if any of you needs help running a campaign or wants to join us, just remember that we are in the Super Friends, and you can be in the Super Friends, and you can join the campaign. You just have to, like we described in this game, the ability to come in and out of stasis from the ship gives a unique ability for you guys to join into the campaign, even for one-offs. So, and you could be Meredith's little war slave if you wanted. I'm sure she'd be down for that. Or Necron's religious pawn.
Then, so it's in the wrong section. So I just put it in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
Okay. How do I?
Yeah, Docs 2900 Fantasy Grounds is what
Oh God.
I've been running games in Fantasy Grounds now for like 4 years, And so it's
Okay.
it's a little bit difficult to learn, but after that, all right. What did you mess up?
When I gave myself my Eldritch Invocations, I gave myself Mage Armor, and it automatically dropped it in spells level 1. But according to the description, it says I can cast Mage Armor on myself at will without expending a spell slot. Therefore, it is a cantrip, but it's not in the cantrip section.
It's not, but that's because it's for mages. It's
No.
I don't
So it
see.
doesn't count as a cantrip
Modifies
still?
it. You can do it at will anyway.
I don't see it
Okay.
on the list of spells
Okay,
that you
okay,
can
so it's
have.
It's in Eldritch
I'm
Invocations.
a
Don't
warlock
worry about
too.
it.
I have the same invocation. I know how it works.
Okay.
Okay.
So.
Second question: how do I increase my number of spell slots? Because I'm supposed to have 2, and I only have 1.
Should be level 6. That'll automatically increase it.
Yeah.
I'm at level 6 and did not automatically increase it.
Let's see here.
I have no idea. But Mage Armor it's added. It's a level 1 spell, but you can cast it at will. You don't need to worry about all the other.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, we got
Kind
that.
of
just
like,
need-
it's instead of you buying armor, you get this spell that you can use all the time.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's see here. I don't know. We should look up how to add spell slots. That'd be interesting. That's right, Trooper. You already are a super friend, and I just don't know it. Well, I'm pretty sure you're already in the Discord. That's for sure, Trooper. So, I mean, that works.
Yeah,
Let's
it
see
says
here.
Under Pact Magic, you should have 2 spell slots at level 5.
Yeah, so we'll have to look up how to do that. I'll probably do that offline here. But for now, you haven't really been marking the usage of the spell slot, so it's probably going to be okay.
She hasn't used any. At least while I've been
Aggressive
here, she hasn't-
explanations are aggressive. That's
I
right.
don't know
So-
how to utilize the spell slots at all. I don't know how to mark them. I don't know how to add more. I don't know what
Okay,
to do,
so when
really.
you're-
I know
when-
that I can only use 2 spells per fight.
So you just click on it and it marks it as used. Do you see how that works?
Yeah.
So that's how you use a spell slot. And then the real question
so when
is,
I cast a spell, I click
maybe
that.
Dogs 2900
Yeah.
knows how to do it. Maybe they know how to add a spell slot. They seem to be with it when it comes to the glory and wonder. What about add a weapon? Okay, that's not it.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. Okay, I haven't done it yet, but I do have Pact of... what do you call it? Pact Boon?
Pact of the
which lets you
Doge.
summon something.
Cantrips are handled poorly in Fantasy Grounds. For the most part, cantrips, even though it's not stated, is meant to be used as often as you need to, as long as you don't abuse it.
Yeah.
Right, that's why I was wondering why my Mage Armor wasn't there, because I can do that, but...
Mage Armor is
Final
a,
thing.
is a level 1 spell. It's just at will. Is I think.
It's an at-will level 1 spell that doesn't take my spell slot, is the thing.
It-
Yeah, it's,
So it's a cantrip.
It doesn't?
it's tantamount to a cantrip, but it's not a cantrip.
It
But
might
Okay.
as well be a cantrip.
It might as well be a cantrip, basically.
A cantrip is it's slang for magic you can cast without effort.
The final
Right.
thing, I have Pact of Boon. We decided
An
I'm going to
anonymous
Pact of
user
Blade
gifted a
versus
tier
Pact of
1
Barrier.
sub
Thank
to
you,
Dogs
anonymous user, for
2900.
that
Fine.
gifted
Pact of
sub.
Blade lets you create...
And Dogs 2900, welcome to the Patrons of Friendliness. Welcome.
You cut out, what were you saying?
He's doing
Uh,
it
Pact of
real
Blade
quick.
lets you create a weapon in your empty hand. You can choose the form that it takes each time you create it, and you're proficient with it. So obviously it's going to be a chair. That's all fine and good. The problem is that it is counted as magical for the purposes of overcoming resistance. So at some point, we're going to need to make a second chair for Carlos to dual wield, or whatever you call it, to also have that
That's
is
fine.
a blunt object that does magical damage. Blah.
That'd be a mace.
A mace.
Mace is a blunt object that does
Thank you for the follow, Dogs.
a +1 mace.
Appreciate it.
Would do magical damage because it's +1 magical weapon, so it's +1. It counts as magical. It isn't quite the same as magic damage. The damage is either from a magical source or not from a magical source. And if it's coming from a +1 mace, it counts as coming from a magical source.
Okay.
I don't believe
I need to grab a
plus
+1 mace.
My reading of it.
If you really want to know the mechanics of how we're making it work, I can explain it to you off stream. But telling that stuff to people that play the game all the time make it less interesting, so I generally don't explain it.
Okay. I mean, as long as the mechanics are working out.
The mechanics are very easy to handle.
Oh, that didn't work. Okay.
Okay, so Dog says if
I haven't summoned it yet, but when I do, I imagine it's going to be a big deal for Carlos, and I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys, or invite you guys to choose the form it takes the first time he summons it.
What, the chair?
The chair, yes.
All right, we'll think of something appropriate to the.
Oh,
combat
okay.
design.
So Dog's found the answer for your spell slots.
Appropriately magical and
So
impressive, I guess.
Just curious. Doesn't one of you still have a ring of invisibility?
Grace does.
What? So
Remember, you have that ring, and it does turn you invisible, so you can still use it.
now,
I've forgotten about it. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, it hasn't forgotten about you.
So can I explain how to fix this problem? Dog's 2900 just figured out. You know this mode in the bottom left hand side? You can go between combat, standard, and preparation. Preparation mode allows me to change the spell slots. So
Thanks, man. I didn't know that.
that
does
is
Pact Magic have its own spell slots? Why does it have to?
yeah. What level should those spell slots be? You've only got 2 of them, but are they first level or
Level at level 6.
I'm level 6. I know I get 2 spell slots. I don't know how many
yeah?
Pact
What
Magic spell slots I get. Do I get 2 sets?
you get 2 Pact Magic spell slots, but what level are those spell slots is the question.
I think it was
3rd
3.
level.
Let me check.
3rd, okay.
Yeah.
Because that would make sense. Because otherwise you wouldn't be able to do the other spells that you have.
Okay, so should I have 2 spell casting and 2 3rd level Pact Magic, or is it just the Pact Magic?
That you have is Pact Magic.
Yeah, you only have
Can
Pact
you type
Magic.
that? Just Pact Magic?
Yeah,
Warlock is different. All you get is Pact Magic.
yeah, and Dogs,
Okay.
it's she's a cleric, so Carlos is a cleric,
But
therefore.
no, I'm a warlock.
Oh no, warlock. He was saying cleric, and that broke my mind apparently. There you go. And then Cass, you had something that I needed to adjust, right?
Yes, you need to, either I can do it manually every single time, or you can add +5 to my damage value on Eldritch Blast. Whichever you prefer.
Let's just do it. Let's see if I can learn how to be a better DM here. All right, so if I go into attack,
Eldritch Blast, it's spell cantrip, and just add +5 to my 1d4 damage. Does that make sense?
yeah, if I can figure out how to edit it. Let's see here. There's the delete. There's create. There's parse. Well, I've edited other things before. The question is this one. Maybe combat. Oh, interesting. Okay, so that. There's remove action, add action, minimize, rest, delete, create. There we go. Okay, so we hit that bonus of 5. Okay, so now that does 1d10 plus 5. Any other pesky problems you guys are facing?
I got a question. So, how do I? So you added a trident for me that works with my my hex trident, but I don't know how to get that to be. Oh no, you didn't. You okay. So whatever you just did removed all of the hex weapons that you gave me, which worked with my pact.
What are you talking?
Okay, so in weapons, I previously had you make up a couple. Oh, there they are.
It's the mode. There's standard, preparation, and combat. So in combat, it's just showing your spells, and it has these. You've got the stucky, stabby army knife and the hand axe, etc. So.
Okay.
Apparently,
All right,
those don't show up in combat mode, which is kind of odd. considering they're for combat, but okay.
It's fine. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm good.
All right. Now we need to make a new encounter for what we did there, right? So we go in and we say add this, and this is Illithid encounter of the Piggly kind. Okay, that's what we'll call this. So you guys defeated 2 intellect devourers by tricking them, and one of them got squished by a door, and 4 of these, and you also got away from the other one. So that is CR 17 total that you did together. So let's go ahead and take this encounter. We'll bring it over to XP side, and oh wait, why is this? Okay, whatever. I don't know why it wouldn't show up with a name. Why? And now it's adding it repeatedly to the combat tracker. Well, never mind that. So this is why I normally will ask for these encounters early on, Troa, so I can kind of put them together.
And yeah, encounters.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
just like 2 weeks ago. Let me know what types of mobs you want and what difficulty you want the fights to be, and I can build them.
Yeah, I think that given that we're going to be going into some difficult situations, we got a little bit more work to do this time.
Okay, we can collaborate. I mean, not now, but
yeah.
Before 2 weeks from
there
now.
You go. Everyone got 7,700 experience. No. Okay, that was the total. Okay, 1,540 experience. And then I think we should
Are
do.
you adding that?
Yeah, I already did. And then I think that we had a quest, really. I mean, let's think about it. This quest should be called Deminding the Hive. All right. There you go. There is another 1,200 experience each for extracting that information. That was a challenge. Good job, guys. Well done. All right. And I think what we should do now is roll the credits. And I think that some people wanted to play Orbis, maybe, but I wanted to go through. Thank you, Necron. Thank you, Carlos. Thank you, Meredith. Thank you, Grace. And thank you, the N7 for your cheers, and Dogs 2900 and the N7 for the follow. And welcome, Dogs 2900, to the Patrons of Friendliness. If you didn't know, there's a special channel just for subscribers where you can go in and help to decide what we do on the show. We the next time I'll be streaming is Monday. So as best I can tell, my plan this weekend is to go work on that cabin. There's the stream schedule. Have you guys what are you guys' thoughts on the stream schedule? I know that y'all follow the show pretty closely. Hopefully it's a little bit better. What about you, Rex and Grace, Necron? Lunar, I know you tend to prefer being in voice, but this should hopefully kind of give you guys an idea of what's coming up at least. So
It runs a little late, but
what?
I can't really earlier.
If it was any earlier, I'd have to skip.
Yeah.
I barely get half an hour after I'm off of work to prepare for game.
Well, that's why I thought we were running it earlier, so it would end at 8 or something, but
Yeah.
ended up going longer.
No.
Oh,
I
you
wish
mean
we could shift
ending
it to a weekend day
No.
so that it's easier for everyone to get to it. But,
The problem is most weekends I have to go out and deal with stuff, and so that.
Yep, it's working for now.
Yeah, I think 5:30 to 9:30 is what we have blocked off for this. So the next time I was planning on streaming was potentially tomorrow for Red Dead Redemption. Then we've got Stellaris, and then hopefully the Outer Worlds on Monday. I don't know if any of you guys play Stellaris, but anyone's welcome to join that. Then Tuesday, and then like Thursday we would do. I'm not sure what we should do this upcoming Thursday, but maybe we could do some tabletop games again since we haven't done those in a while. It'll be fun.
What kind of tabletop?
Trooper, it's 4 p.m. for you, but you're in Australia, Trooper.
I
All
just
right.
realized my headphones didn't connect this entire time, did they?
Hey, there's fires everywhere. Is that okay? Like, not everything okay down there, bud?
What's wrong?
Australia is on fire, like all the time now. Like, I hope troops, Australia people are doing all right.
Yeah. No, I mean, are the fires starting to like calm down? I know that now it's more of a problem of all the things that they have to do around it, right? Let's see here.
That there was some sort of governmental bullshit that kind of caused the fires to be a lot worse.
I think it was that they didn't give support fast enough. So let's see here.
Oh, I'm not from Australia. So.
Yeah, I guess he could let us know, huh?
As long as he's not on fire, you know, he owns and all his family.
There we go.
Or they.
And
You want to hear an interesting random internet fact?
sure.
The writer of Brokeback Mountain wishes she had never written the book or created the movie, not because she regrets the story, but because of the reams of fan fiction that gets sent to her on a regular basis.
That's so fucking hilarious.
Isn't
What?
that such an
That's-
internet story?
That is funny, actually.
Oh my god.
Best thing about not being popular, no one writes terrible fan fiction about my characters.
That is true. Anyone
I
who
also
wants
just
to
found out
write,
the guy that created Winnie the Pooh hates it because he's written like 25 full plays and he's known for writing fucking Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah,
Thought he was-
he hates
Apparently,
his
he tried to
books.
kill him off in one of his last books, but they wouldn't let him.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, it's a kid's story.
King of
You
porn.
can't kill Pooh. But yeah, I hear the same thing happened with Sherlock Holmes. Dude was like, no.
Oh.
People were like, give us Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
We love him. He's like, no.
Sherlock Holmes was written to be.
oh,
a
so
fucking
the
joke.
Japanese came out to help fight the
Because-
fire? That's nice, Trooper.
Really?
Yeah, apparently Japanese sent firefighters.
Hell yeah, go Japan.
Fuck
Nice.
Awesome.
All right, so I just found another Dungeons and Dragons game that's playing, so we're gonna go ahead and raid them, and let's boost their numbers and go in and make a bunch of noise in their chat and hopefully distract them from their story. So
Yay.
yay! Most of them are pretty good about totally ignoring it. Let's go say hey.